Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sutar. Sutar?
What year is it?
It is 4 months since the last game? Something crazy like that. We haven't played
Big
since
thinking
last
face.
November.
None of us
So-
have Corona yet, so we'll see how that statement ages.
Yes, start off the stream with
What about Corona beer?
Corona.
I feel so bad for that company.
Oh
an
my gosh,
unfortunate-
that's so funny though.
It's really
Unfortunate.
It's either like horrible for them or like amazing SEO.
I mean, I heard a statistic from somewhere. It might have been an article headline or whatever that like 30% of people were asked in a survey.
Oh,
if
that was a fake.
Corona. Was it fake? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
It was a thing, apparently fake, about people being dumb and associating the beer with the virus and being like, I'm not gonna drink the beer.
Yeah, no,
it
it
was
ended up
like
being like
18% of beer drinkers or something, which sounds crazy.
Yeah.
It's true. Or some
Anyways, people stupid.
silly,
Um,
something silly, of course. Always something silly.
So you guys are currently... You have just emerged from the ruins of Zerakand.
Oh, that's right. We got the thingy.
You have a small handful of loot, including what you were sent out here to retrieve, the tier of Sutar.
Oh.
As a refresher,
That's right.
These are physical manifestations of the rain, or crystallized manifestations of what should have been the rain of this plane, because many centuries ago this was more of a tropical plane of existence, and it has withered due to a curse into mostly desert. The tropics remain along the coast for the most part, but a great majority of the land in this plane is desert.
Makes sense.
So we got
And
a water rock.
so these manifestations of the rain clouds that were basically sucked out of the sky at the time of the curse being put into place are valuable commodities, and they are scattered about the land. They were often sequestered into what is now ruins by people that were attempting to abstain or hold off the apocalypse of their world that they were experiencing, but to no avail, because a great portion of those cities are now dead and buried in the sands, and Zerakand was one of those cities. And you were able to find the tier of Sutar that was rumored to be hidden in there, and Zero grabbed it from the hands of a inanimate brass golem in what appeared to be a workshop of some kind. And you guys, from within that workshop and the surrounding areas, you found several apparently magical items. You're not quite sure what at least one of them does.
I think didn't like Bernard Harrison's character take the rug or something?
Oh yeah, you took the rug. I mean, what the golem's not going to use it. It's just sitting there on his butt.
That's true.
Character and my character. His character grabbed the rug and he couldn't carry it because he's weak. So he
Yeah,
had to take
you ransacked the
Minus
workshop.
the joint.
-2 to strength will do that to your carrying capacity.
yeah, I got
But
like
if you
a little
you won't have to do that if you strap it to your camel.
Yeah, that's kind of what the assumption was.
But for now, you are hindered. But
Well, I'm carrying it, so it's fine.
While you were in the workshop, you did find a obscured exit back to the surface, so you didn't have to go through that shitty gauntlet again. That was a mistake.
The 4-hour
both
gauntlet.
for the players and the player. The DM will not make the mistake of going through again.
One can
The
But,
character lost a collarbone there.
We
But,
were talking about it was the best part of the session.
It was the
you
only
found
part
your
of
way
the
back to
session.
the surface, and you found yourselves closer to the small oasis that the village currently occupying what used to be Zerikand, or what Zerikand used to occupy. There is a small oasis of fresh water that the village that is occupying land now is utilizing for their drinking water and farming needs, and your camels were nearby. Thankfully, nobody took them because can't really, go anywhere and to just off them or sell them off because the nearest city I think is like a week away, which is Duresh.
Yeah.
And these people are deeply religious and fearful of misdeeds and superstitions and whatnot. Hence why nobody has taken the tear from the ruins yet, because the locals were fearful of the ill omens that were rumored to be within, which you guys found out was kind of
Yeah.
substantiated.
Mm-hmm.
But you
Somebody took
all
our
made
camels.
it out relatively in one piece.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could probably hunt them down, but your camels are there. And you are now free to do as you please.
All right, so this is just like people living and farming. There are no like shops or whatever.
Not particularly. You can attempt to find a shop, but what are you looking for? Also, just as a refresher, I don't know if Hunter remembers, but you were hired to retrieve the Tear of Sutar by. Let me look at my notes real quick because it has been a while.
Bass.
Yes,
I do sort of remember that.
I remember it.
You
I
remember
remember
everything,
something.
Mr. Elephant Brain.
Shut up. I don't remember shit.
You remember a lot of things, except sometimes.
It's true.
Well said.
That's yeah.
Ali. Oops. Oh, NPCs. Okay. Ali Azahi, which is a middle-aged man, or human male, and he resides in Dresh and is a small-time merchant that is trying to get an upper hand and build a larger capitalist empire, if you will.
That makes sense.
So he is looking to get into exotic goods, and his first real finding was that here. And so he put out an open notice for brave adventurers willing to partake in the dangers associated with getting the gemstone in exchange for money. And that's how you guys met.
Mhm.
Anyways, so you are currently on the rim of the oasis. Your camel's nearby. You just have emerged from a trapdoor that was obscured by sand and brush, so there was no way of knowing that it was even there to begin with. But now you know it's there, so you can use that as a shortcut to get back into the ruins if you so choose.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I was just gonna look for a place to like identify my stuff, but or like sell off a few things. But
All right, and
I'll get back
you
on the road.
are. Which character are you again? I completely forgot.
Ali.
Ali. Literally the only one I remember is Zero because of his stupid
Robot voice, yes.
robot voice.
He's memorable.
Anyways,
Hassan is Hunter, I am Kislev, and Harrison is Alim.
Yeah,
thank
hold
you.
on. I think
Good
I have
introduction too for
I think it
viewers
has-
that
Oh
are
yes,
on.
for
Working.
It's been way too
Hey,
many sessions.
Is this working? Yeah. Do I
Not
sound
robot
like a
voice.
robot?
I'm
No,
okay with
not
that
even.
not being
Nah.
the case.
I'm
So, like,
okay with that
discount-
not being it either.
A discount Patrick Warburton. Um,
It's a better voice than having the robot.
Wait, what?
Don't do robot,
Me.
just do Kayoya voice.
It didn't work?
No.
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 We're okay with it.
I mean,
Hold on.
let him do his thing if this is what he
Alright,
wants.
hold on.
But don't overdo it. That's just what I'm saying.
Anyway, is there anything I should
Hey,
roll?
so Rez, can I change my character to
No.
a Genku?
It's,
do it.
yeah, it's working.
You
guys are lying
It's
to
a
me.
minor change.
Okay.
A little late for that. If you had asked before the session
I'm
started, I would
joking.
have said
I'm
maybe.
joking.
But
Rez, I'm being a silly.
Can't believe you
I-
guys would lie
I
to me
would've
like
just been
that.
like, don't do this.
I would say that's a valid race choice if this current character leaves or dies. So that's something to consider.
I'm doing it because they can be kind of a pain to roleplay with.
Y'all are a bunch of
That's what I'm
liars.
saying.
We
I know.
can't. No,
No,
we can't hear you over
we
Discord.
legitimately cannot hear robot over Discord.
Anyways, Aleem, you
Yeah, I don't know what they talking about, but it's working for me. So there we go.
Rez,
Okay.
can I get a notes
There it is. There's
tab
the
so I
robot.
can write everything?
Yeah, it was working.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
change anything. Y'all are lying. I can't
No, we
believe
are-
it. Yep. I knew it. You guys were lying to me.
Aleem Azahid can be edited
What a
by
bunch of liars.
Aleem Zahid.
Yes, all four of us were lying. Absolutely, that's completely and entirely the case.
Can't believe it. You can't believe it.
I
They were
only have
lying to
assumptions.
me.
And by that I mean
They were
75%.
lying to me.
Let me just give everybody a notes tab real quick.
All right.
Hassan's
bunch of-
notes in Hassan's journal can be edited by Hassan. Boink.
Yeah.
Then-
What a bunch of nerds having to take
And we're just gonna
notes.
pretend that Ms. Ram never existed because
he's dead.
apparently Harrison's dink brother is just off in oblivion. So
Oh, okay.
I-
That's. Oh, wait. What was in his inventory?
nothing.
Ah, darn it.
He didn't do anything. He just like, I'm gonna join the campaign. Oops, never mind.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Did he play?
A
He
little
was in
bit.
the
Yeah, he
first
Yeah,
in the
session.
first
first-
session.
2
He
sessions.
didn't really
Yeah.
take
Yeah, he
anything
dash acted.
really.
He dash actioned across the trials. Tried to like disable the traps because he's a rogue,
and then made it
didn't.
worse.
and yeah,
Yeah, we're just gonna pretend that was another unspecified player that did that.
it was
and
it was
keep that
him, but he
canon.
Who
died in
was
the
it? I don't know.
process.
I don't remember.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, sure. Let's say Ms. Ram died during the gauntlet. It was very tragic, but there wasn't really anything salvageable off his remains.
My heart goes on. Anyway, or my heart will go on.
Like I
These are
tried to
zero
get your brother
dice.
to do like, hey, let's here do these things when you're not able to join.
Yeah,
He
I
never
tried
fucking
to.
responded.
Yeah, I tried to do it too. I tried to get him to go. Well, that's continue anyway. Let's just get on with the game.
Your brother's a dink.
I
Anyways,
agree. I agree.
It's yep.
Damn.
I'm just giving every. Oops, what the fuck? I just made a character called Q-Slip's Notes. Whoopsie. Oh no, they've become sentient. All for
Down.
initiative.
Found Hassan's backstory, and I'm very happy.
Let's see, add,
Hassan's backstory. He was born an asshole.
handout.
Basically,
And grow to.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Does he,
Q-Slip's Notes.
Does he have a childhood friend who has no powers that he made fun of?
What the fuck are you talking about?
incidentally,
My hero references.
no.
Darn. Ah.
He's more of a yeah, he's pretty Baki.
And here we'll make it different for Zero and call it Zero's data log.
Good. Good.
Here we go.
Alright.
Everybody's got a notes handout on the character.
Something that I'm totally
think
going
around
to
on.
use.
You should, because
I
I'm not gonna
should.
fucking remember. But
I should take notes, but listen, I don't play D&D to write things.
just
Okay,
go.
where- Okay.
I sure do.
Actually,
I write things for my character sheet, and then we're good. No, I'm kidding.
Anyways, you basically what you missed, Zero, was that Alim attempted to find a magical item. Rinky-Dink Village, realized this was a futile gesture because it is very rudimentary, simple, small inventory shops. And none of which deal with magical items because these are a simple countryside folk. Well, at least the equivalent of you're still in the middle of the desert, but you get what I mean.
Fucking love this music.
Thank you. I mean, I didn't make it, but I'm glad I made good picks.
Just it's just good. Yeah. It's a big mood.
I love it.
Anyways, so Alim declared that you should head back to Darash so you can get paid for your job and do whatever else you guys are wanting to do in Darash, because I'm leaving that up to you.
Yeah, let's hurry back and get paid for this thing. I'm getting bored out here.
I agree.
no, there's the robot.
Here he is.
We missed you, Zero. Oh, bye, Zero.
I don't know why that happened, but
hi,
it did.
Kaioya.
Wow, it's me. I'm
When
back.
did you join the campaign? Oh, there he is. Hi, Zero. Anyways, I'll just fast hand this and say that you hop back onto your camels. They go when you do so because they were busy munching on some reeds, but they listen to you because they are. Despite not being the best camels in the world, they're definitely trained enough to not be too rebellious in terms of camels.
I guess I have to. We only
Zero,
got one
you-
camel.
Oh, one camel. Okay.
We only had.
Well,
like,
you
we
load
had-
up your camel, I assume, with
Yeah.
all your shit that you've plundered,
Mhm.
and you start taking turns heading back. Zero, you unfortunately are too heavy to ride the camels, and you
He doesn't need to
loathe
ride
the
the
thought
camels.
of loathe the thought of getting sand in your servos and whatnot, but it can't be avoided, and you make your way off into the desert.
Didn't Zero also have a massive water tank on his back?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you still have that?
Yeah, he refilled it at
Yeah.
the water.
Yeah, that's
too.
why you don't really need
Although
to
not-
stock up.
well.
Because I'm pretty sure you did not use up all your rations. Zero, basically a
No.
water tower at this point. But you make your way back out into the desert, and over the next coming few days, you make the grueling trek back. Everybody make survival checks. Zero, do it with advantage because you have robot brain.
Okay.
Oh, good. Big number.
Bad at life.
Kislev,
Yep.
you have completely forgotten how exactly you to make it back to town. Hassan, you have the general direction of where you need to go. Alim and Zero, you thankfully remember the landmarks that helped lead you along your way, and
Yep.
you are able to find your way back to Daresh without much issue.
I remember this rock. We slept at this rock.
Well, if you remember, there was that relatively large outcropping
Yeah.
that you were able to sleep underneath, and you came
Yeah.
across it, and you're like, oh yeah, I came from that direction from here, so that kind of helped.
Yeah. So, similarly, Hassan and
uh,
I are just kind of following the other two because they seem to know where they're going.
Correct.
Hassan does so reluctantly, grumbling along the way.
Hey, don't roll
Yeah,
cliff
that
over the
tracks.
tracks.
All right. Anyways, over the next few days, you make it back to the small city of Dresh.
Ah, home, I think.
And
Eh.
just as so, Kaya doesn't point out any modern image are not canon. This is just to give you a general idea.
Mm.
So don't even say it, Kaya. I know how you are.
Why are there blue jeans here?
Why is there a solar panel that doesn't exist?
The
It's
obvious
not
one is the
there.
cars, but it's like the cars are obvious, solar panels obvious, but blue jeans. You know, like that's like what the. All right. But now we're here. Let's get paid.
Sounds good to me. Where do we find this asshole?
I don't think it's that hard to find. You gotta look for his business.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can just go to where he was before. He had an entire stand, didn't he?
He had make a history check for those that are giving a shit.
Having trouble remembering, so I'll just use that history check.
I mean, I wouldn't
No, I
put it
won't.
past. I wouldn't. Well, yes, on you don't give a shit, really. You're like, I'm sure one of these other idiots are gonna remember for me. I don't really need to
I would think
tax,
that he's
tax my
just,
brain.
Yeah, like he just thinks so little of anyone else that he doesn't remember some.
It's like if if his hand's forced, maybe he'll think harder about it. But he's pretty certain at least one of the other party members is gonna remember for him. He's too busy thinking about his how to improve his spells and whatnot. Is that the sort of thing that you kind of would obsess over? Give us an explanation of what Hassan's thinking about normally. Like, what is his default?
I'm trying to remember how I tweaked his backstory to fit more into this setting, but actually, no, that works pretty easily.
That's from what I remember. It kind of sounds like something you'd be doing. Aleem, are you
Yeah.
gonna do a history check or no?
Would it be history checking? Because I have stuff written down. For...
Well, where to find Ali to get paid?
Yeah,
If that
I
is
know
indeed
that.
what you're doing.
He runs a business, winding.
He runs a business. Thank you. Very good.
It's called Winding Trails. It's a merchant company.
Ooh,
Correct. Yeah,
I read-
and
I
your
read the
history
lore
check
tab.
reflects that. Kislev, you remember that too.
I read
Zero,
the lore. I know what's up.
Kislev, you know where it is, Zero, and you remember what it looks like. But you don't remember exactly where it is because Zero, you forgot to store that information.
It's got a blue
Because you're
building.
too preoccupied with other protocol. Anyways,
It's got a blue roof. That's why. That's all I remember. It's got
sure,
beads
it has
for
it. Sure.
I
I'd say
remember.
that's.
I'm
I'm
moving.
sure I did not have a set thing. That's how it is now. You find it's near the bazaar. He has some of the businesses are just stalls in this bazaar, but
That's pretty bizarre.
Don't do this, Ben.
there are permanent businesses in actual buildings, and Winding Trails is one of them. And you find the whoever's dice are on the screen, Zero's dice. That is about the color of the roof. It is a very rich turquoise. It is made from some sort of very nice pigment paint painted
Very
onto
pleasant.
brick tiles. You make your way through the equal turquoise beaded entrance, and it makes a very soothing rattle as well, I assume Zero, you go last because you're kind of bulky and it will take you a bit longer to go through. But it makes a pleasant noise for everybody except Zero, where Zero, it's kind of more of a cacophony of rattling. But you
Yep.
don't seem to mind, so
Used to it at this point.
you're like, oh, very inefficient door. Doesn't keep out any of the draft.
All
Anyways,
right.
you find your way inside. There is I would say a woman in about her mid-20s, human female. Well, I guess a human woman, I should specify.
Mhm.
She is sitting at a desk doing paperwork. And upon hearing the cacophony that Zero causes, she looks up and notices the three of you standing at the doorway. Ah, are you
Three.
the three that
That was 4. Hold on.
Ollie sent? What?
Oh, she's
Four,
racist
never mind.
against
Four, never mind.
Golem. Oh.
4, excuse me.
Suddenly,
The
a
three
race
of
fight
you-
happens.
Well, it's because my icon's in the middle, so it's like I'm busy. Like, oh, there's
Yeah.
math. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. She doesn't
Why
make
is
that mistake. That's not canon.
That's fine.
Anyways, aren't you the 4 that Ollie hired to retrieve the tier of Sutar and the ruins of Zeracant?
Indeed
Look
we
around,
are.
like make sure nobody's.
There isn't anybody else in there currently. It's just
Yeah,
her
well, yeah.
doing some paperwork.
Indeed we are, and we have.
There is
found our quarry.
another beaded doorway, or 2 beaded doorways, one on either side of her. She's kind of at a desk, sitting at it doing the paperwork, and you would assume those beaded doorways somewhere deeper within the building is Ali himself, but it would seem that you are completing your work through one of his liaisons, in this case this woman.
Mhm.
And she kind of looks around and she says, wasn't there supposed to be 5 of you?
He died.
He was unfortunately lost to the traps of the temple we were exploring.
Oh, that's unfortunate, but we did make it very clear in the that there is a high possibility of mortal danger, so
Yeah, he was real skittish. Anyway,
we will divvy his pay amongst the remainder of you, unless you know of a widow or some kind that would need his pay advanced to them.
Not that I'm
can't
aware
say
of.
I knew him that well, so I wouldn't know.
Actually, that sounds like a good thing we might want to look into later.
Your robot broke again, but we'll ignore that.
It broke on our end specifically.
Did we?
Sorry, what was the question? Before robot derailment?
Robot was saying that we should probably look into that actually. But
I mean, that's up to you.
I humbly disagree, but that's my own.
That sounds like the right thing to do to me. I don't know about you guys, but
Zero, make a
I
history
feel
check.
bad.
Yeah, he's got a point.
this is,
Zero, you don't know jack shit about this guy. You did not ask anything about him.
Oh
He
no.
only gave his
Anything about
first
him?
name, which was Mizraim.
Anybody know what his last name was?
Yeah.
I mean,
Unfortunately, I don't know it either. He just wrote Mizraim the Malcontent on the paperwork, whatever that means. But
It means a lot.
we
Anyway,
do. We have him written down per description, so that's we don't need names per se for our work, but it does make easier to pass along payment if it's needed.
Oh darn.
But it sounds like it kind of came back and bit him that he did not give any means of passing along information. But like I said, we will divvy his pay amongst you you four, if you don't know if anybody that would need his inheritance.
I suppose what we could do would be to hold on to it ourselves, and if we find anyone who we can see as a honest heir, then we could pass this along to them. We wouldn't
I
want to run
agree
around
with that
screaming, "We
idea.
have money we're giving away," but if we found someone who identified themselves as related to our lost friend, then
I'd feel better with myself setting it aside rather than taking it. So, I don't know how the rest of you feel, though.
If we need money, I'll just write my parents. They'll probably send us.
Oh, alright. I guess that settles it then.
All right, just let me look at my notes here. Oops, goodbye, whoever just left.
You left, and then
I'm just resetting just because
Anyways,
Please.
Zero's voice modulator malfunctioning aside, that's that damn sand that you were worrying about. It's messed up your voice modulator.
he'll have to recalibrate later into a different voice. Ah, darn.
It says here on the notes that it was agreed upon that each of you, including your deceased party member, would be paid 200 gold apiece for the safe return of the tier. I assume you showing up here again means that you have it.
Indeed, we do.
Yeah, we
Zero?
got your stupid.
Oh, yeah. We can have it in my bag.
Zero will reach into his.
Well, if you find money stupid, I'm sorry that you are in the wrong business. These things are quite valuable. She's
Wait.
directing that you at Hassan, but
Hassan just stays quiet and looks pissy.
Yeah, here it is.
anyways.
Here you go.
This is definitely a decent sized one, and it's, I don't know if I ever described how big it was. It's about the size of an ostrich egg.
Oh.
Yeah,
fact,
you,
My parents actually have a hollowed out, like, carved ostrich egg. It's actually really cool.
You did mention that it was very large when I picked it up. So
So
Yeah,
I
it's
know-
something you'd have to maybe hold with two hands, unless you were unafraid of dropping it and wreaking whatever havoc breaking one would cause. So I assume you turn over the stone.
yes, I
Who's
do
got
that. God damn it!
Zero.
Okay.
Zero.
I keep forgetting that the button that I have hotkeyed for the voice is also back and forward in Chrome, and I hate that. So it keeps like going back and forward.
Hotkey it to a different key, dingus.
I would, but we've already started, and I don't want to be that
Do it
guy.
now, you fucking.
Hold
Don't
on.
have to deal with it for however long we're playing tonight. I don't
Hold
know
on.
how long we're
Alright.
going tonight.
Let's see here. Settings.
Anyway, so Zero hands over the stone, and the desk tending, or the liaison, that's what I was using, reaches into a drawer in her desk and pulls out a coin purse or a coins bag and starts divvying out let's say platinum pieces are 10 to 1 gold, or 10 gold to 1 platinum, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say that she pays you in platinum pieces for the equivalent of 200 gold a piece, and then pulls out a small coin bag and puts in the extra 200 and hands it off to Zero, and that would be Mr. Malcontent's would have been earnings.
Yeah. Okay.
Now that's out of the way. would you, for perhaps, be interested in future employment with Mr. Ali?
If the coin.
Do I get to blow stuff up?
Well, that depends on the work that he requires of you. We don't have anything currently, but we would like to keep you on the short list in case something does arise, and you will amongst first dibs upon whatever job it is, especially if we think it is suitable towards your talents. We will keep in touch then if you are interested.
Put my name on the list.
So long as
Alright.
there's coin to reward the work, then
All right, so
I am
she
here for
starts. She pulls out a notepad and starts jotting down your names. You do notice that is being written in common, which is no surprise. So Kislev and Alim, your names have been added to the short list. What about Hassan and Zero?
Sure.
All right,
Hold on. Trying to figure out why.
Hassan, your name is added to the list. Zero.
Hold on. What the?
Zero.
We're particularly selling like rugs,
Make
like
a
fabric or
investigation check.
Gotcha.
I will do the same. Even worse. Good.
Fantastic.
We're good at this.
What are you doing, Hassan?
Did I have some kind of rich kid knowledge of this rug? If it was valuable, I have like a vague memory.
Yeah, I think you were the one that kind of.
I think
if
so.
I remember
Yes.
correctly.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so you may make an investigation check with advantage plus 3. So roll, and we'll add 3. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Hassan, you're kind of an expert on antiquities, and as far as what's worth shit and what's not, at least. And you, at first, you come across a standard textiles stall, and then you're like, no, we need to go find an antiques dealer because a textile salesman is going to appraise because they are not experienced in such a thing. So you head deeper into the bazaar and you find this crusty old woman running a somewhat obscured stall that's off in a corner, straddled by 2 buildings. But you realize that she's there because it's very well shaded, so it's actually very crafty in terms of comfort. And she doesn't have any patrons at her stall currently, but you, Hassan, notice from a distance that she has a plethora of dusty old relics, very well displayed. Some on silk cushions, some on very well-made mahogany tables, and this is, from what you've seen in the bazaar, very upscale in terms of open-air stalls.
This might be the place.
I think you might just be right, my friend.
I'm gonna kind of.
Hello there, can I help you?
Yes, madam. We're looking to sell this rug. Kind of motion towards it. Kind of present it to her.
Well, currently it's on the camel.
Well, they pulled off the camel, and I sure.
All right, so Alim, you pull off the rug. It is and unravel it. It got a bit dusty from your traveling, so it does kind of make a poof of air. And the old woman's eyes just light up when she sees it. Oh, where did you find this? This is such a fine relic of the old age.
Yes, we're. It's a long story. I won't trouble you with the details, but
A bit
In a
of dungeon
cave.
diving. A bit of dungeon
Bit of the
diving in the
dun-
ruins of Utem.
Ah,
What do you
yes,
think?
yes. That sounds quite believable. You adventurer types always bring the best antiquities. See, these noblemen, they always bring me these chipped mugs that they find in their basements and command a premium. Like, it's just garbage, but compared to this sort of thing. I assume you're wanting to sell this.
Certainly.
Indeed.
See, normally something from this age, I would offer you 200, but they're never in this good of condition. You must have come across a sealed room that nobody's been in for centuries.
Well, it did seem to be the case, yes.
Yeah, it was a pain to get open, but
See, I will double the standard and offer you 400 gold.
that sounds fine by me. The rest of y'all?
Does
Agreeing with that?
Hassan have any idea if that's fair?
Make an insight check. She seems very excited. What that means, you're not sure, but do you think it's a good thing?
Yeah, let's just take it.
Sounds a good deal to me,
You think you-
personally.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I don't have any platinum on me, but I do definitely have enough gold. Let me get to my things real quick. And she has a very distinct hunch from her old age, and she kind of hustles back to in the back area of her stall and pulls out a lockbox and pulls out a key that she was wearing around her necklace, and she unlocks it. She pulls out 4 sacks of money and of equal size, and she then closes the box, locks it back up, and stows it back away. And she shuffles back over to Alim, and here, there should be 10 gold per bag.
Mm-hmm.
Be 40 bags of gold then.
What did I brain wrong?
Yeah, you
Oh,
said.
never mind.
Yeah, you said 400.
400 divided by
100 in a bag, right?
100 per
Yep.
bag, excuse me.
Okay, good.
A lot of money.
Never mind. My brain's not working good today, I'm sorry. She didn't make that mistake in game.
Okay, okay.
Hilarious. The 10 gold per just look at her like, what?
No.
That's a lot of bags of
Hold
gold.
on.
What?
Wow. Gonna have to make an insight
Never
on
mind.
that deception real quick.
No, that's just Rez being stupid. I'm focused on RP, not math.
It's okay.
That's fine.
Understandable. We are memeing, as one will.
So 4
Very
bags of
terrifying.
100 gold each. They are currently tied shut.
I
Make it
will
big.
take one, I'll open it, and I'll make sure it's real gold and that sort of thing. You know.
I kind of did.
You open it up. Alim, you're actually counting it.
I take the bags from her. I kind of divvy up the bags, like one for Zahn, one for Kislev, one for Zero. Evenly distribute the
Oh.
bags.
Cool.
Okay. Kislev, make investigation check.
Okay. Hey,
This is definitely real gold. You could surmise. You are of noble descent, right?
I am sort of.
Upper class. You're bourgeoisie, at least.
Sort of.
Bourgeois.
For the sake of
Okay.
roleplay, yes, he is.
I'm pretending to be. That's the thing. Kislev is.
I
Well,
remember
you've handled fair amounts of
Yes.
please. So you could tell by looking at it and by the weight. You're familiar. You've dealt with bags of 100 is a fairly standard practice for merchants if they don't have platinum or enough platinum for a exchange. So you know
Yeah.
how much a bag of 100 weighs. This weighs it like a bag. It feels like 100 coin bag. And
Yeah.
looking at the coins, just by their glint and their coloration, you can tell that this is indeed real gold.
Okay. I will tie the bag back up, put it in my bag, and say, "Well, thank you for your business."
Thank you, thank you. It's hard to sell these sort of things, but when you find somewhere, it keeps me in business. So please, if you find anything else of interest, bring it by, and I'll buy it off of you at a fair price.
Certainly.
Most certainly.
All right. All right. Next thing I'm gonna do is get something translated and possibly sell it.
Okay.
Because I got a clay tablet, and I'm gonna.
Let's
go-
say the rest of the party. Aleem has
Um,
stated what he wants to do.
I will look for a kind of magic shop that looks like it would be able to identify what my wand can do.
Actually, no. I'm gonna do that first since he's heading a bit.
Yeah, that's you did pass by. Excuse me, Hassan. I will just say Hassan's investigation from earlier. He'll be able to. It was put into consideration and to do an exotic shop, but he felt that specifically in an antiquity shop would probably be the best price. And you do head back into the bazaar, and you come across, or you seek out a stall that you saw earlier, and this shop has a sign that says Anna's Exotics.
All right then.
And this is, while not quite as extravagant as the antiquity stall, it is definitely close. There are a plethora of strange magical looking objects, or not a plethora, but a decent amount, not a whole lot. Hassan, you know that bigger city magic stores have a lot more inventory than this, but it's respectable, at least. It's like it's not like, look at this magical piece, my entire inventory, 1,000 gold. It's not one of. But yeah, they have she has a handful of objects displayed either on stands or on silk pillowcases of deep purple.
I'm going to make my way up to the counter
I will
and
follow.
ask. Is there anyone up at the counter? Just to make sure.
Yes.
Do I see anyone? All right.
Is what you assume the shop owner.
Yeah, I'll assume Anna. I'll inquire the identification fee for items.
Yes, of course. Oh, sorry, you doing that in character now?
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
excuse me. How much do I identify various magical items?
New face. I can't wait to see what sort of things that you found. My fee is 5 gold per item.
Well, I suppose that's not too bad. I was looking for someone who could identify something as well, so.
I'm gonna pull the robe and the ring out and show her. Get the coin ready.
Okay, yes, of course. The ring. Okay. Well, of course, I require payment up front. That's to avoid being scammed on my part.
Certainly, and
You wouldn't believe how many people would just get a free addendum and run off.
I believe you, and I pull the bag out I just got and pull out 10 gold, and I slide it over.
And because
And I
I will
need to
have to
get
yeet
my-
out of here in a few minutes, I will do the same with wand and also 5 gold.
I need to. Okay. do the ring. Remember what the ring does. Wand. Neutral notes.
I know what the ring does out of character, but I'm not gonna
Okay.
break the game.
So, assuming that you're going to be able to find the information, since you know what it is, well, I guess I can just say it in game so the viewers and the other players know, because she is going to be saying this out loud. Let's see, magic items. Magic items 135. I suppose it's probably Googling it would be faster. My brain's I guess.
It's got like a mountain ram or something ring.
It's the ring of. But let me go to the R
Ring of the Ram?
section. Yes.
That thing is awesome.
You know what it is then, huh?
Yeah, I gave it to one of my players.
Well, great
One of-
minds think
Oh my
alike.
God.
One of my favorite official magic items are the bag of tricks. Those are wonderful.
Okay. This
Oh,
is
those are
indeed
crazy.
the ring of the ram. Get ready to copy this down here. So,
Got a page up, so
okay. This is the ring of the ram. It is a rare magical item. It requires attunement. This ring has 3 charges, and it regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. While wearing the ring, you can use an action to expend 1 to 3 of its charges to attack one creature you can see within 60 feet of you. The ring produces a spectral ram's head and makes
God.
its attack roll with a +7 bonus. On a hit, for each charge you spend, the target takes 2d10 force damage and is pushed 5 feet away from you. Alternatively, you can expend 1 to 3 of the ring's charges as an action to try to break an object you can see within 60 feet of you that isn't being worn or carried. The ring makes a strength check with a +5 bonus for each charge you spend.
cool. And then I had a red robe with a gold trim, which I don't remember the name of it, but it changed colors.
Yes, I know what that is. I remember that one. I just don't remember the ring. Take me a moment. Remove another 5 gold from your inventory.
Yep,
I should
I slid
probably-
the 10 across.
Okay.
I will be back as soon as possible. Just go ahead
Okay.
and add magic item identity to my character sheet. I already deducted the gold, so I shall return as soon as I can. Goodbye.
Okay. And so this is magic items. Delete. Dog bark, very fun. I'm gonna mute myself while
All right. I also just looked at what I had, and I also had like 23 gold coins from like ancient gold coins or whatever. I should probably sell those too.
Okay, so this
That's a lot of bullshit last session.
is just take a look at my dungeon loot. Yes, okay, yes, I have the right one. This is the Cloak of Many Fashions. It is a common wonders item. While wearing this cloak, you can use a bonus action to change the style, color, and apparent quality of the garment. The cloak's weight doesn't change. Regardless of its appearance, the cloak can't be anything but a cloak. Although it can duplicate the appearance of other magic cloaks, it doesn't gain their magical properties. Oh,
Neat.
just found what wand it was. Funny.
I'm gonna like this cloak. All right, I'm gonna immediately put it on.
Right? Yeah, you don't need to attune to it. You just have to will it into whatever color and pattern that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a bonus action.
Gotcha.
Okay, so now I have to switch to wand. Let's see, wand. Which wand section? Wand of Okay, so this is
Wand
an
of Wonder.
uncommon wand. It is a wand of magic detection. This wand has 3 charges. While holding it, you can expend 1 charge as an action to cast the detect magic spell from it. The wand regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. So I'll just put that in the chat so Ben knows what it is.
I just found a roll 20 link, so I could just DM it to him or whatever. Got it. All right.
And I will say that it can also be used as a magic focus for casting the spells.
Yeah, it makes sense. But all right. All right, cool. And then, how much would this? I'll just ask. Also last session I looked at my inventory and there's like old coins I got from the last session. 20
Yes.
like gold coins. Just to cut through a lot of the stuff. Like, who would I sell that to? What would I get from it? Just
Probably the antiquities dealer.
all right. Just like obfuscate some of that stuff. Like if I just sort of like while we wait for Ben, I go back, sell it. Yeah.
Yes. She offers you 2 gold per gold. So basically double. They're worth double the amount of a standard gold piece.
Oh.
And obviously she sells them for a little bit more to collectors. So you would have to keep finding antiquities dealers every time you find them in order to get that sort of value from them, because the average commoner just cares that it's gold, doesn't really care that it's an old coin. As long as it's real gold, that's all that matters to them. Okay, anything else? I will say that at this point, the sun is very low in the sky, and it's going to be sunset fairly soon. Shops will stay open for a bit past sunset, but this is very much a medieval rules where shops generally close down after.
Okay.
You cut
Can I
out.
make like a check to listen to kind of any rumors or whatever that may come up? Of any
It's just like over listening to other people's conversations, kind of thing.
yeah, kind of like as I walk by, I'm kind of listening in, kind of seeing if there's anything that kind of seems interesting that I can pursue.
Make a perception check. You can't hear the entire conversation, but you do hear the people are discussing about strange goings on at the Dusty Camel Inn. But it's, by the way they're talking about it, it's nothing new. They're just like, yeah, that happened again. You couldn't catch exactly what happened, but apparently it happened again.
So, are we still near the antiquity shop, right?
No, you're at the Aleem briefly left because he realized that he had some old coins that he needed to sell off, but he kind of left you guys at the magic goods dealer, which I do clarify, she does have an inventory if any of you are interested in it.
Yeah, can Zero browse what she has?
All right, well, we'll assume that you're doing this while she's identifying things. There are note cards next to the things, so you don't have to have her explain what they are.
There are what?
But note cards next to each item to explain what they do, just so she doesn't have to repeat herself all day. Which is kind of smart. What sort of thing are you looking for? There is a fair amount of things to look through. Are you just looking at everything?
He's looking around to see if anything in particular that would matter to a being of mechanical nature. Anything like that sticks out.
Make an investigation check. You don't see anything that stands out to you that's blatantly mechanical, but you do see a handful of. Do you have dark vision? I forget.
I believe so. Hold on.
I don't think you do.
Hold on.
Let's look at your character sheet.
I'm looking at it.
I'm pretty sure it would just be called dark vision on your character sheet. I would assume you do not. But you do see
No.
there is a lantern and a variety of gemstones. You're not sure what they do offhand. You'd have to inspect their note cards to discern what they do.
I will do exactly that
Which one are you looking at?
then. The lantern.
The lantern. Okay. Paid. Well, let me just see if. Lantern. Oops, wrong thing. Lantern. Okay. It does have it. This is a lantern of reveal. While lit, this hooded lantern burns for 6 hours on 1 pint of oil, shedding bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. Invisible creatures and objects are visible as long as they are in the lantern's bright light. You can use an action to lower the hood, reducing the light to dim light in a 5-foot radius. It is currently priced at 500 gold.
Okay. What about the variety of gemstones?
There is a pearl and 2 gemstones. Which ones are the gemstones look identical in appearance? Which are you going to look at first?
Probably the pearl.
Okay. This is a pearl of power.
That sounds
And
good.
let's see. I'm sure Hassan will get a huge boner for this. While this pearl is on your possession, you can use an action to speak its command word and regain 1 expended spell slot. If the expended slot was of 4th level or higher, the new slot is 3rd level. Once you use the pearl, it can't be used again until the next dawn. And there is a extra note on it saying that the command word will be given to the buyer upon completed purchase.
Ooh. What's the price on the note card?
The price for the pearl is 600 gold. It's a good item.
I'll have that much. What about the other gemstones?
The other gems are both gems of brightness. And what they do is a fair amount of things. Let me see. Okay, gem of brightness. Each of these prisms has 50 charges each. While you're holding one, you can use an action to speak one of 3 command words to cause one of the following effects. The first command word causes the gem to shed bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. This effect doesn't expend a charge. It lasts until you use a bonus action to repeat the command word or until you use the function of the gem.
Ooh.
The second command word expends 1 charge and causes a brilliant beam of light at 1 creature you can see within 60 feet of you. The creature must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or become blinded for 1 minute. The creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. The third command word expends 5 charges and causes the gem to flare with blinding light in a 30-foot cone originating from it. Each creature in the cone must make a saving throw as if struck by the beam created within the must make a saving throw as if struck by the beam created with the second command word. When all the gem's charges are expended, the gem becomes a with about 50 gold. There is a note or extended note like with the other gem saying that the command words will be given upon purchase and that these gemstones are currently at full. They are unused.
Okay. What was the price?
They are 300 gold each.
Okay.
You can continue looking around if you wish. Some other things. But that's what
I
depending
will. Zero's gonna start looking around based on the price on the note cards at this point. It's gonna be looking for things about 200 gold and below.
200 gold and below. Okay, well that's you just happen to have come across the most expensive things in the inventory.
Okay, I was gonna say.
But on the lower end, you notice that there are 3 seemingly normal-looking arrows. But looking at the note card, it says that they are unbreakable arrows, and they will never break except when they strike an let's see, anti-something shield. I need to look at what the anti. Let's see. Oh, that's too far. Arrow. Unbreakable arrow. This arrow can't be broken except when it is within an anti-magic field. So basically, it's as if you own at least one of these arrows, you'll never run out of arrows if, like, you would otherwise like break them on stuff.
Okay.
So there's basically arrows of infinite. They get hit by an anti-magic.
Yeah.
Okay. And they are priced at 120 gold apiece.
That would be useful if Zero could use things like a bow, but he can't. So,
Well, make an intelligence check, Zero. You do make the connection that having an unbreakable shaft of wood might have its uses in other means, and not just for projectile purposes, but
Use it as a knife.
I mean, you could. The tip's sharp enough for that. But if you do break it apart, well, you can't break it apart. Never mind. Silly anecdote. Anyways, this is close. This is a bit above your price range. This is for 225 gold. You see that it is a scimitar, and it gives off a soft glow. And you look at the note card, and it says that it is. I assume I don't have to do this for everybody, and you are actually listening.
yes.
I'm listening.
Yes.
Hunter's returned. Ben is off in La La Land. I don't know.
No.
I will assume. I hope that other players are going to fill them in, so I don't have to repeat myself.
Yeah.
I won't
This
tell him
is.
anything.
Well, that's very Hassan of you. This is
What?
a moon-touched scimitar. In darkness, the unsheathed blade of the sword sheds moonlight, creating a bright light in a 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15 feet.
So glowy sword, gotcha.
Yes, it does not require
Yeah.
attunement. It just does that automatically.
That's pretty good.
And then finally, there is I guess it's a bowl of beads, and the note card says that these are 50 gold apiece. And they are wrong. I have wrestling 2 books at once. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
They are beads of nourishment. This spongy, flavorless, gelatinous bead dissolves on your tongue and provides as much nourishment as 1 day of ration.
Hmm.
I read the wrong thing, but that's what they are now. Don't worry about it.
So they're like sensu beans, but at 1/10 their power.
Well, they don't heal you.
Well, yeah.
They just provide. They're basically a good berry that doesn't expire.
Yeah. Well, my reference was that sensu beans give you food for 10 days.
Nerd. No.
That's a lot of calories. That's not keto friendly. What? Well, I guess with keto, it doesn't matter about the calories. It matters about
Carbs.
Anyways,
Them carburetors.
that's the extent of her inventory.
I think Zero would probably grab an arrow. Yeah.
Okay, there are 3 of them. You're just buying one of them?
Yep.
Okay, remove 120 gold from your inventory.
Hello, I am back.
Hello,
Hi,
Kyle.
back.
Oh, yeah.
I knew that was gonna happen.
120.
Kaya, your brainwashing has advanced greatly.
Good.
Congratulations.
Good.
So did my wand get identified?
Yes, it is a wand of magic detection.
Wand
Wand
of
of-
what?
Magic detection. Additionally, it can be used as a magic. I'm adding that to what it does.
That's pretty epic.
So basically, do you want me to read it, or can you
I'll look it up.
look it up? Okay. Anybody else? Was there anything out of that to you?
I'm trying to find a deeper look at the Moon Touch Scimitar.
What are you?
I'm
What are you
looking
trying
to
to? Any what?
the Moon Touch Scimitar.
Still didn't get what you're looking for on it. What are you trying to figure out?
I'm just trying to look at the description when I see it.
Oh, you want me to repeat it? Okay.
You don't have to. I'm trying to just find it so I can read it. You don't have to repeat yourself again. 'Cause I know you didn't want that, but
I can do it. I'm not that big of
Alright.
a weed. This is the wrong book. Switch book.
it's Xanathar's, right?
Yes. Page 138. But I got it. I still have the page open. Wait, no, not 138. Yes, 138. I'm stupid.
Detect magic is like
Uh.
in every class. Wow. I
But
didn't-
you're not a magician, are you?
Not yet. I was thinking about taking a magician subclass.
Well, that has a use for now, then.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you can always sell it.
Indeed, I can. It's also just not a spell I generally take, so...
Let's see. Moontouched. It's a Moontouched sword. That's probably why you can't find it. It's just I switched it up. It's specified scimitar.
Yeah.
In darkness, the unsheathed blade of the sword sheds moonlight, creating a bright light in a 15-foot radius, and dim light for an additional 15 feet.
Okay. And I don't know. Can I? Hold on. I want to.
And it does not require attunement.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I can actually wield it. I think I can. Yeah, I can. And how much was it?
That is 225 gold.
225. Okay.
So give me the quick rundown of all the magic items in the shop, since I've presumably missed most.
Okay, I'll read off the names. We'll let people intervene if it's something interests you, and let you know what it is.
Cool.
Zero bought one thing, so I'll read off what is currently still available.
Sounds good.
She has a Lantern of Revealing, a Pearl of Power, 2 Gems of Brightness, 2 Unbreakable Arrows, 0 bought. What was the third one? So he has 1 in his inventory. Alim is currently ogling the Moon-Touched Scimitar, and there's also a bowl of Beads of Nourishment, and there are 5 of them.
Interesting.
But I found an unopened bottle of hand sanitizer I've been hoarding away.
Get out of here, David!
I hope you all just heard that.
An unopened bottle of hand sanitizer I stored away.
I'm gonna sell this for
I'm gonna sell this now.
Please clip that so I can send it to him later. You know what? I can do that.
Okay, Raz, real quick. How much is the Pearl of Power?
Pearl of Power 600.
That's really good though.
It is really good.
That's why
And I'm-
it's so much. Because it's really good.
Zero
Ah.
Zero was really interested in buying it until he saw that it was 8 gold too
like, I
much.
have 2
Oh,
spell
you got
slots.
one spell slot back. That's really
Yeah, I have 2
Mm.
spell slots, so that's really good for me.
I
Yeah,
have
absolutely.
2 spell slots as well, so it's also really good for me.
What's the deal with that scimitar?
Scimitar is
It glows.
it's a,
Moon-Touched.
yeah, it's a standard scimitar, but it glows when orcs are nearby. No, it just glows.
It's
And the-
basically I
Hassan, your
can see in dungeon, yay.
your
the sword.
hair glows.
But he
You're
can't use
probably
it to
fine.
illuminate. It's not in front of his eyes. It's illuminating behind him. He can't make any use of that.
Actually, yeah, that scimitar would be really good because I don't have dark vision.
I don't think any of you do.
Zero has a lantern.
Hassan does, but it's like everything's kind of red.
Mr.
I
Angry
have
Eyes
torches,
Vision.
so.
Pretty much.
Well, that you have to keep buying torches. Is the thing.
Yeah,
That's the thing to
yeah.
consider.
Yeah.
Not to influence your decision making.
No, that's yeah. I already have a pack.
Speaking of, I think
With your
Zero's
intelligence score, I would say you would consider that.
Zero's probably interested in finding a an upgrade for his visual components. Seeing if so.
Zero,
would
make a
there
history
be
check.
I was gonna say, would there be a golem parts shop something?
I
of
did
a
say there were
similar
some
variety?
golems around here, but there weren't. They were mostly in the guard. Their free golems are more common in the big city.
Yeah, well, I didn't know
So
whether we
you
were in
you
like
probably
a really big city
you
or
would have
not,
to
so-
find go to a big city first,
Gotcha. All right.
because the market is too limited here to substantiate running a shop just for golems. Because this
So I was
is
thinking it would make
primarily
sense.
humans and to the lesser extent elves. There are others minority races, but they are much fewer in number.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. I wonder if it would
So,
be possible to like upgrade a golem's eyes to like work like a lantern. Or, like
That intelligence check, you know that is an upgrade. You just haven't had the money for it all at one point to be able to afford it.
fair enough.
You've been kind of drifting, so you haven't
Yeah.
really amassed money.
Rez,
Fair
how
enough.
much are these unbreakable arrows each? 'Cause I could
120
take-
gold apiece.
That's pretty steep, but understandably so.
And the scimitar is 200. and
Magical
what?
items are never cheap, my friend.
This is true. This is very true.
Yeah, how much was
She's
the
saying
scimitar?
that the scimitar is 225.
225. I might get that. Give me a moment.
If price is an issue, I can always negotiate a partial trade if you have anything of interest.
I don't. Okay. Hold on. It's not necessarily an issue. It's just, is this worth it? I think it is. Let me see here. And you said 225, just to make sure my math's right.
Yes. I'm just gonna say, Hassan, make a correct. Flat charisma check.
Okay.
And this is in response to it's just been 0 that spots something so far, right?
Okay.
You were the most charismatic of all of us, sir.
You think that was a pretty good deal. Anyways,
All right.
The same
continue.
charisma as I
that was
do.
a very not charismatic role of mine there.
I will.
you just think, yeah, I probably would have paid it that much if I was interested in one of those, but I'm not. So.
I'm gonna do a bit of haggling. I'm gonna make my way up there with the sword. I'm like, I've got a question about the price here. A standard scimitar is roughly what, 25 silver, 30. You can cast light on that for relatively cheap. This is 225 for this, my dear. Kind of just
Oh, but
like, oh,
to do that, you'd first have to be a magic user, and secondly, you would have to keep doing that. Whereas this just does it on command, not command even. It just does it. You wouldn't have to buy a lantern ever again if you buy this. No, never have to buy lantern oil.
Yeah, well, with me around, they don't really need one anyway.
It does bring up a good point.
would,
I was gonna go find a regular scimitar.
like, I'm trying to, but I am a magic user and I use prestidigitation to just like sparks up here. I'm not gonna do that. I'm like,
So you're.
I kind of want to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like, but I am. I kind of like. So why? What? Fair enough. And I kind of think, I just won't get the sword. Then I kind of put it down and make my way out. I'll rely on my friend here. I kind of point to Hassan.
Let me take a quick look at your character sheet, or a character sheet.
Dang it, I just checked and on the stream it's too quiet. You can't hear David, so clipping it isn't worth it.
Prestidigitation
It was
is
still funny,
really
though.
It was.
good.
It's great.
Rip.
He just walks in, opens the door, is holding this thing of hand sanitizer.
Yes, hand sanitizer. Okay, very good, David. Get
Like,
out
David,
of here.
David, we have soap.
Says Jimbly.
Oh yeah,
Fair.
Right?
Mr.
You're
Soap
right.
Wizard.
Oh, I still have a bar of soap signed by Kyoya. I have this.
That's
Aline,
true.
make a. Let's see. Charisma, deception. We'll say persuasion check. Make a persuasion check.
Ooh.
She kind of lurches forward a little bit, and she's like, "Wait. You clearly understand the value of this item. I don't get too many shoppers at this price point. It is negotiable if you are willing to haggle a little bit."
I kind of ponder for a moment. Give me one moment. The love board. Let me see.
I know the price tag says $225, but for you, I will sell it to you for $180.
175.
Make another persuasion check.
Persuasion, yeah. It's gonna fall flat. I just know it.
I believe.
There we go. Braun, this is not.
I suppose I can work with that. 175 it is.
Very well. and I'm gonna pass over the.
Alright, so subtract 175 gold from your inventory and add a moon-touched scimitar to your inventory.
Ooh,
How much are
that's pretty
the?
cool.
How much is the gem of brightness?
There are 2 of them. They do have a finite number of uses.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
They are 300 gold apiece.
Okay, that's pretty hefty. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
Are you saying that in character?
No. No, I'm not.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking I kind of want one of the gems, and I definitely want one of the arrows, and I'm just trying to think what a good buy 2 get 1 X% off idea would be for that.
A BOGO?
So what's your
A
Kislev?
BOGO.
Let's see, Kislev. Let me look at your character sheet. Oh, okay, +2 intelligence. I would say with your intelligence score, you'd probably surmise that the price is probably proportionate to the amount of things you can do with the gemstone. Like, specifically, being able to blind things is a very useful ability, and not a whole lot of spell, like, at least for low level spells, that's not a thing that you can do.
Yeah. No. That's what I mean is if I buy the arrow and the gem, I say, well, instead of paying the full 420, how about I pay like 350 or something?
So you're trying to bundle.
That's what I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to think what the good number to offer would be, you know. The other problem with that is that I don't have 350, so there's that nonsense.
Good job.
I've got.
You do have things of value that she would be interested in.
Yeah, but those are. I don't want to get rid of the wand. That's actually really nice.
Zero has something
Yes.
interesting, but he's not
So
gonna part with it.
Pillaging ruins is a very lucrative, albeit dangerous, means of income.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things down there.
Yeah, I don't really. Besides the wand, which I definitely want to keep, just because that's a nice thing to have. I don't really have anything else of value to sell off. Wonderful. That's a big sad from me, Chief.
You could always come back.
I could always come back.
No, it's not a guarantee that you'd have everything, but
right,
you
yeah.
can always come back.
So I suppose I'll get the one thing that I really want here, and I'll kind of turn to her and say, I think I would appreciate one of those arrows. I don't use a bow often, but when I do, it would be helpful to have something like that.
Of course. That would be 120 gold apiece.
Could I persuade you? I'd have to break a platinum in order to do the 120. Could we just do 100?
Make a persuasion check.
Doink.
I already cut you a break on the other item. I don't want to go bankrupt.
Fair enough. I suppose we can do that. And I will hand her 1 platinum and I guess 20 gold.
Okay.
Yep. And I will take Unbreakable Arrow.
Anybody else doing anything?
Not at this shop.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Okay, so
Go to
there is
another
now
place.
1 unbreakable arrow in her inventory. And the Moontouch sword is now the new owner.
Yes, I now have a.
And it does come with a sheath,
Yes.
so you're not always glowing. It just automatically starts glowing as soon as you unsheath it.
Perfect.
But it might make a handy dungeon delving tool. So
It's handy for a number of reasons.
do I want to know all those reasons?
Warlock shenanigans.
Nice.
Alright. Anyways, so moving on. Like I said, The sun is now pretty low in the sky. It's going to be sunset soon, and shops will be closing a little bit after sunset. They'll stay open for about an hour after sunset, but that's about it.
So it's
So
now
you have a
sunset.
bit. You have some time, but not a ton.
Right.
Could we
You
just
guys, you
kind
guys
of-
are dog tired from.
I mean, they might be.
Could we?
Zero, you need to stop and get the sand out of your joints. That's been bugging you, and you haven't really had a chance to.
Well, yeah,
clean
but
yourself out.
I don't need to I don't have to worry about exhaustion.
Yeah, but you're not saying you have the
It's
status.
just I'm
exhaustion. You as
inconvenienced by the
pee. That's your equivalent of needing to
needing to
take
pee.
a break because you have sand in your butt.
Gotta rinse my whole. I gotta take a bath. Is what you're saying?
Yep.
Or just take a brush and brush things out. Less likely to rust.
Mm.
But
Am I made of iron?
I thought that was specified.
I thought brass, but
I thought it was brass.
Brass, yes.
It
You do
doesn't-
have some iron
doesn't
components, but you are primarily
Rust
brass.
very much.
Because brass is a somewhat soft metal, I believe. So for more stress,
It's
For
either
stress
brass or
dependent
bronze.
stuff.
I forget.
I think it's brass. Because you were like that inanimate golem that you came across. I remember that. 'Cause
No,
you're both.
not anymore.
Well, you used to be brass. Now you're made of iron
I'm
parts. 'Cause you
made of
replaced
whatever is
stuff.
the most. Whatever modern golems are made out of.
Iron.
Okay. So then
It
yeah.
started with clay, then apparently brass, which is not very well known. And then iron, which is what modern golems are made of.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna want to eventually upgrade my parts to be better than that iron.
hooray!
But that costs money.
All right, and
That's
It's
good.
gonna
I'll
cost
save
a
up
fair
my
amount
money.
of money because skilled manufacturer of golem parts is not cheap.
Yeah, definitely going to cost me money and not anything else. Yeah.
do I
There's a
win now?
reason you're not an unstable juggernaut right now. After time that you've been wandering around, you know how to attach parts, but you can't make them. That's your one flaw in your design.
That is something he has. That's a reason why he's equipped with what he's doing. What he has. He's been working on that.
He must be
Okay,
Iron
just,
Man. Anyway, all
Ignore
right.
that.
Down, down, boom, boom, boom,
So what do you guys-
boom, boom,
Hassan, was there
boom.
something that you wanted to do? You've been kind of
Yeah.
quiet.
I was gonna go see if there was like a normal weapon.
The blacksmith.
That is actually
Yeah,
what
is there one?
Zero also wanted to look for.
Yeah. Make a perception check with advantage because you've been in the bazaar for a while. Oh my god.
The rolls tonight.
Jeez.
Who's that also
okay.
perceiving? Zero, you hear it's kind of off a distance, but it's on the outskirts of the bazaar. You do hear the distinct clanking of hammer on anvil. You're like, oh, that must be the direction of where the blacksmith is.
Alright, hold on guys, gotta go to the blacksmith real quick. Anyone else wanna come?
I think I'm okay. I will find a nice tavern and get something good to drink.
I have a suggestion, my friend.
Hmm? Yes?
I heard tell of a tavern in the streets called the Dusty Camel.
Well, then, why don't you lead the way and we see what we can find?
That's where we're going. While y'all do blacksmithing shenanigans.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll start with Hassan and Zero. We'll assume that you guys are going to be able to figure out where the Dusty Camel is because there's only so many inns /
Yeah.
taverns in this small city.
Worst case, we don't. We just go to a different tavern and meet up later.
Splitting the party up is bad.
Did we find the blacksmith?
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Zero figured out.
You head like a sonar, Zero, you hone in on the clanging. Hassan, you're just following Zero.
Yeah.
You couldn't really hear it before because you're too fixated on that useless babble of all the people going about the bazaar, and it was kind of pissing you off a little bit. They're just talking
Attracts.
about
Just like
really,
PAX.
really inane shit. They're like, I don't want to know about this, but I know about it now. I don't want to know about radishes, but now I do.
Oh my gosh, did you hear about
Radishes. Are you
Cynthia? I
serious?
heard about
Radishes?
Cynthia. Oh my gosh.
You
Anyway,
pass by
so
one guy who
head to
asks,
you're
"Do you
kind
get
of
to the
towards
Cloud
center,
District
then you
very
head
often?"
To the, well, basically, you head to the outskirts of the bazaar. You kind of realize why the blacksmith is on the outskirts, because once you get up onto it, the clanging is pretty loud, and there's a good amount of smoke coming out of the forge chimney. This is an open air smithy. There is an actual building where you would assume he keeps all of his supplies and inventory, but he does his work outside. You do see that this is a relatively young looking dwarven male. He is busy hammering away at what appears to be a dagger on one of his anvils. His forge is lit up and glowing. He doesn't seem to notice you guys immediately. He is covered in soot, and he's very fixated on perfecting the dagger that he's working on. It looks like a pretty nice dagger, too.
Okay. Well, I'd like to browse his stock if there's any just sitting there.
He doesn't really have a whole lot just sitting out in the open because thievery is a thing. You do see that there is a pile of what looks to be components to plate armor nearby. Are you trying to discern anything from that?
I am in the market for a weapon. I was thinking a scimitar, but I'm open to.
Zero.
Are you trying to
also-
talk to him right now? Or
No,
you're just,
that
you're just
above
thinking
game.
about that above game. Okay. I mean, you could inquire that you just see the pieces of armor that are kind of, I guess they're not piled, they're kind of spread out. You would assume that he was refining them and he's letting them cool in the open air. And there are a few damaged weapons. You would assume that he is going to repair them at some point, and they're just at some point today, and they're kind of sitting in a barrel. But you don't really see any weapons out in the open. You do see that there is a light on inside the building,
What kind of damage are we talking about? Like broken apart?
like battle chipping.
Oh,
like
good.
Hitting really hard objects that you shouldn't be hitting with a sword. kind of chips.
Good. I mean, what?
Hey,
But,
you
yeah.
there.
This is very loud. You're gonna have to yell this.
Hey! Can you hear me? Do your ears work?
Make a flat Constitution check, I guess. See if you can muster up the lung capacity. No. Like, hey! But you seem to be drowned out by his hammering.
Zero will
Either that or he's ignoring you. You're not really sure.
pipe in and just go,
Excuse me, dwarven fellow. You're here to inquire about some goods, please.
Zero, make a Constitution check with advantage because you have a very distinct voice that might be able to stand out amongst the hammering. Yeah.
Didn't need to roll save.
Dwarf kind of jumps with a start when he hears the distinct rumbling of a voice modulator, and he peeks up. He has goggles on to protect his eyes from sparks, and he looks up at you, Zero, and he pulls off his goggles, and he just his jaw opens like, my God, is that a free walker? I didn't think I'd see one of you around here.
I'm kind of a wanderer. I go around different places, you know. Ended up here. Because why not?
What did he call you? A free walker?
You can make a history check if you want, Hassan, if that interests you.
Wow, look!
Yeah, you know this is a fairly common term, especially among dwarves, because dwarves are dwarven blacksmithies are primarily the mechanists that maintain golems, because like in most D&D worlds, dwarves are known for their craftsmanship, so it's kind of a tradition for them to be the ones to work on golems. You know that this is a fairly common term used to describe golems that have free will. And in case you didn't remember, free will golems are fairly uncommon.
Okay.
The golems themselves are not too common as it is, so seeing a quote-unquote free walker is a rare sight. Yes, Zero, you have free automaton.
Yeah.
That
Well,
is in fact
yeah.
what you are.
Oh, I
Unless you're
wasn't
trying to pass yourself off as a servant. That's where it
No.
comes into play.
No. I just dropped it because it was relevant to what you were saying.
Okay. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. What can I do you for?
Dang it, I can't finish my thing now. God dang it.
Fuck
Okay.
off, Kayo.
Role play out the window, okay.
Yeah, this is a dwarf. What you expect?
Well, I was trying to speak and then I was spoken over. I tried to speak again and Big said. Okay.
What were you gonna say?
Zoro was gonna compliment him because a blacksmith to another blacksmith, but I guess.
Oh,
I mean,
I see
it's
what you're doing.
never
You
too
have
late to
blacksmith
compliment
skills. Okay, I'm just gonna say you would still have to spend the money to get the parts to make your stuff. You can't just make it out of thin air, and you also have to know how to make stuff. Plus, working on your own stuff is going to be next to impossible.
That has nothing to do with what.
Okay, I'm just saying, it's like anything short of working on your arms or your legs, things that you can see, you would have to have somebody else work on you.
No, I'm well aware.
Anyways,
I was trying to rebuttal with what he said to me, with the free walker thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Say your thing.
Okay.
Well,
I wasn't expecting to see a fellow blacksmith of your quality in a place like this either.
Hi, well, the bigger cities are more saturated with blacksmiths, and having a stable business is much harder there, so I figured I'd come out here into the good old Duresh and see what it has to offer. Anyways, what can I do you for? It's nice to see one of you. It's always fascinating seeing a free walker. You're always also individual. It's nice to see what you do with your designs. It's very fascinating Unfortunately, I don't have the to work on golems, but I'm familiar with the process.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. It's not what we're here for. See, me and my friend here, looking for, some equipment. Wondering if you had any stock available for purchasing.
Of course, I've got it inside. Let me, just put the dagger down real quick, and he dunks it in a cooling tank, and it sizzles a little bit. Then he puts it down on a nearby table.
I want to take a look at that dagger closer now that he's cooled it and has set it down.
Ooh.
Okay, make an investigation check. It looks fancy, and it currently does not have a handle or a hilt?
Yeah.
I don't remember the
It
terminology.
would. Yes, you're good. Our guard.
So it's not really used its current state. So if you're thinking about swiping it, you'd have to find a way to finish it. But
Nah, I don't want
as
to.
far as unfinished daggers go, it looks pretty good. You think he's a pretty good blacksmith? You don't know a whole lot about metallurgy. You're more of the magical studies and textbooks kind of
Yeah.
expertise from your background.
Nerd. No.
Anyways,
So what did what did he stop to do?
he put it down. And he's like, "Come inside, come inside. Just in my shop here.
Oh, right.
Gotta keep.
Yeah,
Gotta have
I'll
its
follow him inside.
physical deterrent from thieves, as you know. Because my stuff's the good stuff."
If you say so, I will follow him.
All right. So unlike the posh extravagance of Ollie's, this dwarves small building is very practical. Has a strong, sturdy door with a lock on it. He pulls out a thick iron key and unlocks the door and leads you guys inside. And you are greeted by there is a counter off to the side and a wall of metal goods such as swords and armor. You don't really see woodcraft stuff like bows. You do see there's a few crossbows, but there's far fewer in number if they have a great deal of wood involved. You'd
Well,
suss
that
out that
is-
he is not a woodworking shop for that sort of stuff, like a Fletcher, I guess.
Does he have any scimitars?
These are scimitars in this world are the bread and butter weapon.
The curved blades.
Curved swords, get the quote right.
Fuck you.
I played Skyrim.
How dare you? I'm trying to make.
Anyways, he has a barrel of them, and they all look to be about of similar quality, and they look pretty decent.
Seems
All
like
right,
a boring sword to me.
How much do these bad boys go for?
Let's see. Look at. Oh, I just can look at that. I keep forgetting Roll20 has stuff on. I'm just used to it missing things. I was like, I can't rely on it, but if it doesn't have the value of the item, I'm gonna be.
I think it's
Really doesn't.
10 gold points.
Oh, or it can just not open. That's cool.
Scimitar is 25
Item.
silver.
25 silver. He's
Oh.
going to.
D&D Beyond, that's what it says.
He's
Oh,
going to say.
it's not silver, gold.
Oh no.
Scimitar, D&D Beyond, martial melee weapon, 25.
God damn it! I'm gonna just go my player book.
It's D&D Beyond. That's literally what would be in the player book.
It's
Oh,
you
yeah,
said
yeah.
guild or whatever. It's
Yeah,
not
no,
the
yeah, it's
currency.
25 gold. I'm stupid. But whatever.
Yeah, gold.
Me too.
Don't worry.
These are 30 gold apiece. They're a touch above the standard soldier fare, hence the slight markup. They will last a bit longer, and they're certainly higher quality. Can I interest you in one?
Maybe. What about that dagger you were working on out there? What's look kind of fancy.
Oh, that is a commissioned work for a nobleman. It's more for show versus stabby stabby. I assume you're more into the latter.
Yeah.
I can certainly do a commission work for you, but it does command a commission cost on top of material and whatnot.
For now, I'll just grab one of these scimitars from you.
Right, and just to clarify, if you do come across something that you think you can embed in a sword of some kind, I can certainly inlay it for you and make using the item more convenient when you're wanting to also use a sword at the same time, if you know what I mean.
Oh, like inlaying a gem into a sword so that it can do stuff. That's pretty.
Yes. So you can hold the sword and still use
Wow.
the item.
Isn't that crazy? What a
Because
novel
otherwise
concept.
you'd have to free hand, but that way, if you're holding the sword, you have the gemstone.
I like it.
Anyways, so again, they are 30 gold apiece.
Deal.
The joke is that I am
Alrighty.
running a D&D
Subtract 30
campaign
gold
of
from
my
your inventory.
own,
Done.
and that is the
Is there anything
common thing
else
for
you two
swords
are
is to have an inlay for
wanting to
gem
looking to buy in?
where they can use magic and stuff.
I don't think so. What did he say? There was something kind of special about it.
It has
slot.
it has slightly better. No, that's if you commit him to make.
Oh, that's the
sword that
commission.
can-
Right.
Yeah, these don't by default have that because they take more time, and time is money.
So they
Anyways,
say.
so he said, these do have a bit better durability. So I
Gotcha.
would say, I would just mark in inventory as dwarven scimitar. So if you like smack it against something like a rock wall or something, if you remind me that it's a dwarven scimitar, I will take that into consideration in terms of doing the DC to see if it's damaged or not.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna just add it to my. Just add a scimitar to my inventory. Maybe like put a note.
Yeah, just add dwarven scimitar, but for scimitar, it's fine.
Making sure this works.
Because otherwise, we will mutually forget, and it will be upsetting for people that do remember.
Do you
It's true.
think would Zero have knowledge on a lot of blade craft surrounding scimitars, seeing as they're the most common?
It would depends. If have you spent a deal researching and performing the act of creating blades?
I mean, created the giant greatsword on his back, I think. So
That would be it in terms of what you've made.
yeah,
'Cause
but
you'd
he
have
had to
have
learn.
access to a forge and whatnot. And
Yeah,
it can be difficult when you're a wanderer because not every blacksmith is like, "Hey, welcome by, stranger. Come use my expensive forge," and possibly ruin it.
well, I mean, he had to be taught blacksmithing, I think.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, no, that's isn't. It's that's what he's integrated with. Never mind. So he
Blades
was
forging?
programmed with blacksmithing knowledge.
Yeah, that's general knowledge, though, not specialized with like blades and stuff. I would
No,
assume.
that's like hold on, integrated. Double your proficiency bonus for any ability checks I make with it. So I'm like a fucking baller at blacksmithing, apparently.
You're proficient in what checks?
I have I have a double proficiency bonus for ability checks with blacksmithing tools.
Well, yes, with the tools, not the background involved with like history checks involving making.
No, okay.
blades.
I just wanted to know whether or not that would like. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
S-
It's like if I
would
learned how
say
to make the blade, I would be good at it, but I have to
you
learn
had
how to make the
access
blade
to
first.
expensive notes when you were creating your blade, and you currently do not have those notes because they
Gotcha.
are a trade secret that the blacksmith was very adamant that you did not make physical copies of.
Gotcha. All right. Good.
And this was from a blacksmith at the coast, and this
Yeah.
was decades ago.
Gotcha.
And this was an old man, so you're not even sure if he's still alive at this point.
Yeah. Don't worry about it then. I just wanted to know whether or not I'd be able to, because there is a type of scimitar that's really cool, but I'd have to know about it in order to inquire about it. So.
Correct. You don't automatically know everything about him. You still have to learn about it.
Yeah.
It's just you have advantage on recollecting what you do know.
Gotcha. All right. In that case, Zero is going to.
Yeah, how much for one of these crossbows you got here?
Oh, yeah,
What?
those are. Yes, he has crossbows. I said that he had crossbows.
Yeah.
These are. He has one heavy crossbow and 2 hand crossbows. The heavy crossbow is 60 gold. The hand crossbows are 90 gold. And he says he apologizes for the fairly steep price, but that's due to the scarcity of wood and the fact that he has to pay somebody else to shape the wood because that is not his expertise. He is a metal.
Okay. Yeah.
Because creating the wood involved in creating the wood and whatnot, he does not know how to do that.
Gotcha.
He doesn't
No.
have
Yeah.
space to do that.
Yeah. He's Zero's fine with that.
Yeah. How much for one of these heavy crossbows you got here?
I believe I said 60 gold.
If
I'm
I
saying
were
that
to,
out of character, he doesn't respond like that.
if
60
I
gold.
were to repair some of those weapons you got stored away in that barrel out there for you, be willing to cut the price a bit? Maybe down to 35? 40?
You remember there was about 5 in the barrel? Well, that would take time for you to fix them. If you're willing to do the work for me, and you don't have to ruin the bloody things, we'll just have to charge you for the value of the swords. But I would be willing to knock off 5 gold per sword that you get done.
Sounds fine by me. Here.
What are you doing?
So can Zero head out and just pick up the entire barrel, bring it in real quick?
Okay. Go make a strength check. You try to pick up the barrel, but it's fixed to the ground, and also
Oh, okay.
there are a lot of that you could have tried to rip it out of the ground, but it's like I guess fixed to the ground is the wrong term. It's like embedded in the ground.
Yeah, no, I get what you're meaning.
So it doesn't fall over.
Yep.
And you tried to wrestle it free, but you couldn't.
Gotcha. So Zero is instead just gonna pick out the first blade, and
You sneaky bastard. I didn't know you had that.
Yeah. I used it to repair my
that's
shield.
fair.
Yeah. So I just start.
Make a stealth
popping that
check.
No, never
You're
remote.
not very discreet about it.
No,
Like,
I mean, I
this
don't know
will-
why. Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna
I
pull
just
out the
totally
sword.
do that.
And you go boing.
Yeah.
And the sword is good as new.
Cool. I'll do that to the other ones as well. Just
Okay,
blatantly.
make stealth check again.
He's not being stealthy about this. He's doing
Okay.
it blatantly. He doesn't
Okay.
care.
Okay. Yeah, you manned all the swords.
Cool. I'll pick up all the swords and I'll bring them back in and set them down and be like,
There you go. It's all good.
How the bloody hell did you do that so quickly? You're making me look bad.
Oh, no. I'm sure you would have done even better than I could. I just can do it really fast.
I saw some flashes of light out there. Do you know how to use magic?
Yeah, I got a little bit of magic in my sleeve. Well, I don't really have sleeves, but the analogy still holds.
It's incredible. I've never heard of a girl.
you cut
really
out.
are something, aren't you?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
It's like rare even amongst normal mortal folk around here. I would do that if I knew how to do it, but I don't have the mind for magic, I guess. It's kind
Sure,
of
if you
embarrassing.
put your mind to it, you could learn one or two small tricks. That's how I did it.
Hey, you're making me reconsider. Maybe I'll go find a book on learning how to.
It'll make these tasks a little bit quicker. Make faster buck, and you still make really good tools and not have to worry about them breaking as often.
I would suppose that. I assume you used the spell they call mending, right? I've heard of that one.
Indeed. Yep.
Just the one problem with that is you can't add what's gone to it. You have to have everything there to fix the damage. Otherwise, you do have to do it the old-fashioned way, right?
I believe that so long as the break or tear is no longer than 1 foot, you can mend it.
So basically, yes.
It does not.
Like if you break off the tip, like the half of a sword, and you lose it, you can't just like, oh, mending.
Well, yeah, because at that point it's not really damage; it's just like a lost tip of a sword. But like if you had the materials, I'm sure you could probably be like, yeah, I can mend it with this. Feel like I don't know. Mending is not very specific on that end, so it's
I would
kind
just
of
say you
like obviously like if there's a big chunk missing,
chunks
probably,
missing. Yeah, you'd have to have.
but like dents in the
it-
side of a sword would be mendable because all you'd have to do is you just have to go through the whole reforging process.
Because like with the
all the
like, I'm
material's
thinking
still
with
there.
The
It's
break
just
or tear thing is just like it's everything there. It's like a crack or something. Mending can
Yeah.
fix that. But if there's pieces missing off of it,
yeah,
mending
like large
can't fix
amounts.
that.
Yeah.
Anyways, the semantics of bending aside, the dwarf is very impressed and it's like, well, you caught me with my pants down, but a deal's a deal. Let's see, so 5 times 5, 25 gold off, and I said 60 gold, so that would be 45.
35,
35, yes.
like I suggested.
35.
That sounds like a
Deal's
deal
a
to
deal,
me.
my friend, and you saved me a great time.
You're welcome. And
I've been
good
sitting
luck
on
in
these,
future
between you and me,
prospects.
I've been sitting on these crossbows for a long time. This folk around here wouldn't know a good weapon if it stabbed him in the arse.
Oh, not sure if I'll be using it exactly as a weapon, but I have a couple ideas. I like tinkering a little bit, so
It is a martial weapon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
you're
have
a
a
fighter.
I have a
You're
plan.
a fighter.
I do have a plan for it. It's gonna be a cool little thing I'm gonna build.
Grappling hook.
God damn it.
He does have grapple hook, by the way.
He has what?
He has basically every standard thing as long as it's made of metal, and I would make an exception for rope. Because you can just buy rope, and it's fairly easy to get rope.
But it's not an unbreakable arrow. What I wanted to do is have a crossbow that when I fire it, the arrow digs in, and then I can pull on the rope and pull people in like a fucking get over here type bullshit.
I would say you could possibly do that with the unbreakable arrow. If you try to modify the unbreakable arrow, it's going to lose its magical qualities.
No, I'd basically just be tying a rope to it.
Yeah, you just have to make a good enough attack roll for that.
Yeah.
It depends on what the material that you're trying to pierce is.
Well, yeah, obviously, but
Anyways, yeah, you could do that. He does sell just rope if that's what you're wanting.
would I also notice the oh, I had to put in heavy crossbow. What's the weight? 18? Cool. I mean, I have rope, so that's fine. But he has a
In terms of what the
grapple hooks, you
grapples
said?
are, yeah, they're treble hook, like a large treble hook is what they are.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, he'll actually without the rope, obviously, right?
Yes. You have to
Yeah,
buy the rope separately.
he'll also eye that and inquire about that.
Hey, there's grappling treble hooks. Let me see. I don't think the book has them in there. Unless it's does it specifically have grappling? Yes, grappling hook. Those would be 2 gold apiece. And he currently has 4.
That's perfect. I'll take 2 of those.
Okay. So subtract 4 gold, and those are going to weigh
That's
4
39.
pounds apiece. I don't think you're going to be anywhere near being, but in case that matters.
Nah, probably fine.
And like we both deduced that they don't have the rope attached. He is selling rope, hempen rope. It's 1 gold per 50 feet.
Zero will also pick up one of those. An extra thing.
One coil of rope.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So subtract 50 gold. Not 50 gold. 1 gold. It's 50 feet. Excuse me. I was still thinking of the length. Oh no, the rope police are coming.
Oh no.
Bought too much rope.
It's too
Anyways, the
much.
shopping has kind of been drawing on, but I kind of expected this. Hopefully, this has been kind of fun for you guys.
Yeah, I like browsing wares.
I enjoy a good shopping spree.
Harris
as
and
I
I
make
are
it
discussing in DMs what Aleem and Kislev are discussing at the bar, so we're having
Zero
fun.
Zero will actually turn over to Hassan and say to him,
If you want, you buy one of those crossbows over there, I could try to fashion you a grappling hook launcher. My plan here with this one, but I didn't know if you were interested as well.
Just to clarify, he only had the 1 heavy crossbow, and the hand crossbows are too strong to be able to properly shoot a grappling hook.
"Oh, okay,
They don't have enough firing power to do it.
gotcha.
Hassan didn't hear anything.
Okay, yeah, pretty much.
He's
Yeah.
too busy ogling all the weaponry, like all pointy bits. Anyways, anything else you guys want?
He's done there, so he just throw his gold on the counter and just be like, "Thanks." And
Okay, so are you guys done there then?
yeah.
Yeah.
Could I take a good look at that dagger he was working on? Just like try to remember, like take a good look at it, so if I see something like it later, I can remember their similarity.
Yes. You go. It's back outside still. So you can. Are you outside currently?
Yeah, I was gonna walk out.
Yeah. So let me see. It is. You can make another investigation check. You noticed that by the shape of it, it is an unusually shaped dagger. It is very wavy, and you know that this is a Chris blade. K-R-I-S. And you know that this one looks like it's more for ornate purposes, but you know that there are combat-worthy Chris's as well. You know that they do have a small chance of inflicting lasting bleeding wounds if they do land a good hit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah,
So-
I actually homebrewed a Chris for one of my players.
Before we actually
there's
started
a
this,
possibility that I would ask to use that if you do come across one and you want to use one. So depending on how powerful it is.
Oh, it's her legendary weapon, so
Oh, okay.
probably,
Yeah.
So
I
before
would
we
just have to do standard fare then.
above board real quick. Before we even started playing this game's campaign, I added some fluff to my character where he had a Kopesh instead of a short sword, and he had a Chris instead of a standard dagger.
That's
So I
fine.
should probably change that. Oh, okay.
No, you're fine.
All right, cool.
It's just coming across a Chris or buying one in the future would cost more than the standard dagger.
So I just
And a Kopesh, I would say, is probably up there with Scimitar.
Mhm.
So
I just copied the short sword stats or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
short
yeah.
sword. Just made it up. But it's a pack weapon, so.
Excuse me. Anyway, so you know that this is Chris, but you know that Chris's in of themselves are innately be worth more than a standard dagger. Ornate ones can go for a fair amount more, depending on how well they're made.
All right, I just take mental note of this.
And you do
this
know
crap.
that they used to be more common for noblemen to carry around. They have lost popularity in recent decades, but you know that there is a collector's market for them.
Yeah, I think Hassan is like feeling like he needs to get his hands on one to differentiate himself from the common.
Yeah, like in the very very least, you would be instant friends with another collector. I saw you walk around with, and that if you do find one that you don't like, you could probably sell it for a fair amount.
I will. I'm just gonna make a mental note.
Find Chris. Who's Chris? Anyways, so assuming you guys are 100% done now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're going to jump to Alim and Kislev.
Okay. So we've been just kind of telling stories of our adventures to each other.
I'm gonna go pee real quick. Let
that
them do
sort
their
of
stuff.
Yeah, and then I let slip that I heard the name of the inn by listening to rumors, and there were some weird happenings happening at this inn, and I went to check it out. And by let slip, I just told them. I was like, "Oh yeah, by the way,
This is a inn with a tavern.
Huh?
Well, that's fine, Hunter. You're not here right now, so it's
Perfect timing. Go do that, Hunter.
anyways. So
if
there's
it's a separate
a front
place, then
desk
don't worry about
and
it, but-
no, you're in there.
Okay.
Like this, they have a tavern at the base floor, and the upper floors are the inn rooms.
Okay, gotcha.
And you are currently in the tavern area, but where do you think you would be sitting? Do you think you'd be sitting by the door, by the desk, the barkeeper's desk,
I
or
was kind
table,
of thinking
or by a
by like a
window?
wall.
just off to the side?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, Alim?
Yep. I just follow him in.
Yeah. So you're just kind of talking at hushed room level talking then, I assume.
Yeah, we're being polite.
Yeah.
And are you having any alcohol, or are you just...
Yes.
I'm having water at the moment.
Okay,
Is
water's free.
Yeah.
Let's see. Alcohol is an ancient Arabian text. I don't know. I think they just have beer because Egyptians did beer. I know that. I would say it's 5 copper per beer.
Okay.
Per pint.
I have bought 1 beer so far.
All right, and you've through this conversation you've been having, you've kind of downed about half. You
Half
feel
of it?
fine. Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay beer. It's not piss water. You've had better, but it's not to complain about.
Yeah.
As the screen fades in, I'm just like, and so the Kinku is disguised as a minotaur who sailed the seas, and he became king afterwards. It was crazy, man.
Let me make a
These
deception
wild
check.
murals. Huh?
Make a deception check, and Kislev do an
Oh, I'm not lying. I'm telling him a story of a tomb I was in. Like there was like a
I know, but
tale
he's
of.
trying to figure out if you're just bullshitting the story or it's actually a story.
Would that be deception? I mean, I'm not trying to deceive him.
You're trying to be convincing, I would
Yeah.
say, of something that's not true. So it would be deception.
Yeah, I mean, Aleem thinks it's true. I'm genuinely not lying to him.
I feel like
Wait,
it would
this,
work as a
okay.
persuasion check.
Like,
Okay,
I'm,
persuasion.
Like,
Do
I'm
persuasion,
telling
then.
him. Yeah, okay. I'm
So
trying
if
to tell him.
it's
like,
true, make
Like,
a
I'm
persuasion check to see if you can tell the story in an impressive manner. And the insight will be if he's impressed or not.
Mhm.
So I will leave it up to you, but Kislev,
I'll
or
say
depending on how you actually react to it, you'd say you're kind of, it's a pretty good story, not the craziest or most engaging story. But
an interesting tale. You said a Kenku disguising itself as a minotaur.
Yeah, it was a wild. I wish I was. Sometimes I wish I were alive back in those days, just so I could see the crazy. But like the mural, I'm translating what the murals are illustrated. But yeah, like a Minotaur king who was revealed to be a Kinku after his death. A great king apparently, because they cast the wings in bronze, and some king elsewhere has the wings. But it was such a crazy thing.
So in the end, he did get his wings. Ah, wonderful. A good
If you
ending.
want to put it that way. Put it that way, yeah.
Aleem, add to your notes the legendary golden wings. This may come up later.
All right.
Well,
I won't
that's-
always do that, but in this case, I would say that in fact a legendary treasure that you're interested in finding someday.
Well, as
Anyways.
for me, this was city, I forget the name at this point, but and I just go on and kind of tell a story about some strange oddity that I found in a city. There was this dragonborn that would wrestle people to the ground and just pin them there and then just stab them in the back with a short sword. It was quite impressive, honestly. Far more nimble than you would expect a dragonborn to be, but
Really? Did you try to wrestle?
no. I know where my strengths lie.
I would have given it a shot. I would have put rules in place, of course, so not to die, but I would've
Right.
given it a go.
Well, I'm not a significantly physically strong man, but perhaps if I meet him again,
Both of you make perception checks.
Okay.
Aleem, you're too busy trying to weave your tails, but Kislev, there's just been this annoying noise just assaulting your ear that's facing towards the other side of the tavern. This bard playing here sucks. It is the most half-assed drivel ever heard.
So, as kind of Aleem comes to a pause in the conversation, I kind of say, "Does that bard sound as unpracticed to you as he does to me? Perhaps I am just being too, I don't know, up my own ass or whatever."
Kind of tune. I'm like, oh, I kind of like paused my story to listen in on his music.
Are you looking over towards the bard, or are you just listening?
I'm just listening.
Yeah, make another perception check with advantage because it was pointed out to you. Yeah, this shit sucks. It seems very half-hearted, like their heart is not into it.
Thanks, Kaioya.
I'm the bard.
Kinda.
I'm just writing notes. Give me a moment.
One would hope this town would have. Or perhaps this is just some of that modern music. I don't know.
Yeah.
People are into strange things these days.
Yeah. Speaking of strange, on my way before we stopped by here, I did hear rumors of strange happenings at this inn. I wanted to.
You were
I wanted to
mentioning
check
that
out.
earlier.
Yeah.
What sorts of
yeah.
things were you hearing about?
There wasn't much detail. Just it happens often apparently. So I wanted to try to check it out a bit, see if I caught a glimpse of whatever strange happenings.
Well, perhaps we could ask our bard friend over there, and it might silence the noise for a minute or two.
He may sing a tale about it, but maybe his voice is better than his lute. He'd get up. I'm gonna get up and let me
And I will
see.
follow.
I'm gonna toss him a gold piece and ask him if he's heard of
You head over towards the bard, and just by looking at him, you kind of realize why his playing is so shitty. He just looks like a mess. Like, this is a tabaxi, which is
Cat.
well, yeah, cat person, but
Mhm.
he just looks really fucking depressed. Like, he
See.
looks like he has kind of like a beer gut. He hasn't been taking care of himself. His eyes are sunken. Just really a miserable sight to look at.
I'm gonna kind of place a gold coin. Does he have any like a hat or something to kind of collect money with?
He's using one of the end bowls, which the barkeeper seems to be fine with.
Mm-hmm.
How much are you tossing in there?
1 gold piece. And I'm just gonna ask, like, I'm gonna just be like, oh, share it, my friend. I've got a question. You weave tales. Maybe you've heard of some troubles happening here.
He there's kind of a delayed response from 2 seconds. He was continuing. Once it registers that somebody's talking to him and asking him a question, what they're asking him, he kind of stops and looks up and is like, "What was that?" Or what was that? Sorry.
I wanted to know if you've heard any strange happenings in this inn. I've heard that recently some things have been happening. I wanted some more info.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about, but it's fine. Nobody cares anyways. And he starts crying.
Oh, my friend, listen, I care. That's why I'm asking. I'd like to know what's happening. I just came to town.
Thank
so
you.
Here. Oh,
You two are such a nice breath of fresh air.
kind of like shoot a glance over.
Tabaxi. You just see cats, but we have feelings.
I see. Yes, you do very much have feelings like the rest of us. I kind of shoot Kislev a glance like, what did we do? What did I do? I kind of glance back over at the tobacco.
This would have been my wife.
Hmm.
She used to work here. 3 years ago, she was killed by this thing, and now she's been haunting this place, and I can't do anything to help her. Nobody wants to help me.
Let's see. Kind of like glance over at Kislev again, like, help me out here, man. Like, well, could you give me some info? Like, as to, I'm able to take care of it.
Do you know if her spirit would wish us to fell the beast that took her? If so, I'm certain we have a few other adventurer friends we could attempt to track and fell the beast for you.
Hey, he stops sobbing and kind of wipes the dribble coming from his nose and his tears running down his face, and he looks over towards the barkeeper, and he just kind of says, let me take a look at my notes real quick. Oops, wrong one. And he's like, "Hey, Marzel, it's fine. You can take a break." He's like, okay, come over here to the table. Let's talk. If you're willing to listen.
All right, then I
We go
follow
over
him
to
to
the
a table.
table.
And sit.
So, yeah, so you three of you take a seat, and he kind of sniffles some more, and says, "Okay, sorry. I don't know about you, but it's very hard to lose a loved one in the tabaxi lifestyle. We are very family-oriented, and I miss my beloved Bijar so much." Anyways, 3 years ago, we were due to wed, and about a week before we were married, this creature appeared out at night, and we were leaving the inn because we don't like to sleep around. It's a bit too much of the same, if you know what I mean. And something popped up out of the shadows and struck its fist through her, and it was the most awful screaming and sight I've ever seen. I couldn't do anything. I tried to strike at it with my lute, but the lute just went right through the thing. And when the screaming stopped, Mijara was dead.
I see.
It took a while to figure out exactly what it was. When he asked about what could have wanted to harm Bijara to her family, he thought that I was joking at first, but then her father said, so the curse was real. And I'm sorry, but this is the part where even the most charitable people just turn away, so I will not judge you if you choose not to help me, but he thinks it was because of the rock Sasha that he killed. Do you know what the rock Sasha is?
Can I roll to know if I know what the thing is?
There.
History?
Yes, history or arcana, whichever is better.
The same. 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a roll. I've heard the name, I believe. Yeah.
I would say you both hold high enough to kind of know what he's talking about. Rock Sasha look similar to Tabaxi. They look like cat people, but they are actually fiends. And they are inherently malicious. And you know that if you're not sure if you're looking at a Tabaxi or a Rock Sasha, is to look at their hands, because a Rock Sasha's hands will be backwards, as in their thumb will be where their pinky should be.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Interesting.
And Marzel will continue and say that in Tabaxi culture, the ghost of a Rakshasa is known as a Duryasta. They are not quite as powerful as a Rakshasa, but they are certainly not to be trifled with. And you were correct in stating that the only way to free Mijara's soul is to kill what remains of the Duryasta.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be in the grave of Bijara in the graveyard. I would do it myself, but you have to pour holy water on the grave, and I have that much, but it knows who I am, and it chases me off before I can get close. Because you see, the holy water makes the Duryasta vulnerable. Period.
And so it is then that you would strike the creature.
Yes, it's very dangerous, and once most people hear that it's something involving a Raksash, nobody wants to help me. Let alone a tabaxi with something so dangerous. And I don't have a whole lot to offer. And he pulls out a small sack of coins and he says, "This is all the money that I have on me. It's about 50 gold. But I'm sure we could work something else out if you're willing to help me."
Well, we would need to discuss with our other 2 compatriots, but it is very possible we could find an agreement to help you.
Do you have the holy water, correct?
Yes, I've had it for years, in fact. I sometimes forget that it's on me, but it should still be good.
Alright, good. Alright, well, we will discuss the job with our compatriots and get back to you.
We could just try and find them. I think assuming they're still out in the shopping district, we could get them and bring them back
Yeah,
here.
they shouldn't be too far away. We'll be back soon.
Yeah, so we'll be back as soon as we can find them.
I would say you guys got to the inn before the other 2 got to the blacksmith. And excuse me, they got their business done while you guys were chit-chatting, and they did know to find their way here. I'm not going to make them roll for it. As you say, we'll be right back. Your other party members actually come in through the door.
Oh, well,
Well, there they are.
that'd be them.
It's, and to answer your question, Hunter, this will go as long as you guys are wanting.
You're
You can
talking
stop
about
at
them
any
like
point.
Okay, I'm just assessing. I don't have a super hard time, so.
Well, Aleem, if you'll stay
So
here
this
with...
plot line isn't super long.
I was not
depending on what
expecting
you
an
do,
autoplay
so
video.
You should be able to get it done tonight if you want
Queuing
to.
up memes to watch after the
Well, Aleem,
stream,
if you'll
and
stay here with our new friends, I will
let them play
go
it
get
up.
our compatriots and get them up to
That's
speed, and then we can see what the decision is.
Alright.
And so I will stand up from the table and I will walk over to the other 2. Oh, you finally made it.
Yeah, I
Nice.
wanted to grab some gear, send it to Son, so fast blacksmiths. Real
Good,
quick.
good. Aleem and I were just discussing with the tabaxi over there. It seems he has a beast he would like us to slay for him. Not a lot of gold to reward us, but perhaps he has mentioned there could be other things that we could work on in agreement. So, if you are interested, we could help as well.
What kind of beast?
I think he called it a Raksasha.
Oh!
Oh my god.
You both can make either Arcana or History checks if you want. If you want to discern if you know what Raksasha is.
I personally know what that is because I was looking into
I
them for
know.
my campaign.
Exactly why I'm not. Just remember,
Yeah. So
Hassan. It sounds vaguely familiar, but you're not exactly. Sounds like a noodle dish to you.
So I know the word from something, but not.
You're confusing
what
it
at all.
for something else. You're confusing it for something.
Gotcha.
It's some sort of demonic creature that killed his wife and continues to haunt her. And he would like. It seems to be affecting the man quite heavily. In terms
Sounds like a good enough reason to go and kill something to me. I'm in.
All right then.
I mean, that sucks.
And Zero, you vaguely know what a Raksasha is. You know that they're very dangerous.
Yep.
So
I'm just gonna kind of I'm just confirming details, mainly for my notes. The Rakshasa is a weaker like version of it. Like what do you call it?
It is the rock. Well, the Rakshasa is dead, but its vengeful ghost remains.
It's a
and
ghost.
The Tabaxi culture calls it. Let me go back to the notes real quick. The Dre Alsta. So Dre Alsta.
All right.
Oh.
Well, I'll lead you over and introduce you to our new friend, and we can begin to discuss the finer details of the plan. And I then proceed to lead them over to the table with our new Tabaxi friend.
Yeah. So you're led over to the table, and
You walk over, and the wings were covered in gold, man. It was crazy. I'm kidding.
and you are greeted by the sight by the world's saddest looking bard.
These
It's
are
just it's depressing just looking at him.
these are
He's
my
very
compa-
very disheveled and
Yeah.
does not look like he's been taking care of himself.
So I will introduce. These are our compatriots, Hassan and Zero.
Hey.
Nice to meet you. My name is Marzel. I trust that your friend filled you in on what's going on. And I must say thank you so much.
Yeah, like your daughter choked on a noodle dish or
No.
Not even
Not
Really my
quite.
temper.
I
I
don't know what you're
don't
talking
think
about.
that's what happened.
No, Hassan. A demonic creature called a Rakshasa killed his wife.
Oh, Rakshasa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sudden realization hits him like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was totally listening.
Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. Anyway, now where's the grave of this creature, or the grave that we need to head to?
Bejara's grave is in the main graveyard in the southern part on the outside of town. You will have to do this at midnight. As if I was told by your family, they live very far from here. I assume none of you have ever been to the Far East. You have not. You have not.
Okay.
Even
Like
Zero in all of your wine
Have I been there? I don't believe I have.
remained
I
on
have
the other
gone
side
s-
of the continent.
I don't think I've ever gone that far east.
I come from a ways from here, but no, not that far.
Yes, this is the only reason her own family hasn't come here to do it themselves. It's just not feasible. We came out here to follow our dreams, you know. And fate led us to Thresh, and fate took my wife away from me.
Fate is a funny word. I would say a monster took your wife, but regardless.
Please, if you're willing to, are you willing to do this tonight, even? I mean, I'm not pushing for it. It's just.
Do I get to blow something up?
That would be the goal, is to blow up the remnants of this Rakshasa.
I'm in.
Of course you are.
Okay. Then you will need this. And he hands Aleem the.
Holy water.
Yes.
All right. This goes on the grave to summon it.
And then we all do our things.
All right.
Of course, we'll want to be careful not to disturb the graveyard beyond what must be done.
Of course. Of course.
And like I said, I'll try to think of something else to
Don't
reward
worry
you if you're
about that.
successful.
Yes.
trying to open up
We
read it.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Well then, I say we rest up while we can. Then at midnight we
Indeed.
go kick this thing's ass.
Just what I was going to say.
And
I've
it's
gotta-
about 7:30 the real world time equivalent.
Okay.
So you can just chill at the tavern if you want, or if you got something else you want to do.
Assumingly, we've had like a full day of travel, so I think most of us are just going to kind of take a short, I mean, like a short rest for 5 or so hours or whatever, because we're not getting a full
Yeah.
8 in before midnight. But just get
I-
some rest after
oh.
the day of travel. The robot
Be more
doesn't
like
have
You've
four,
had
yeah.
robot.
long rest during travel is just your saddle sore. So you've had all your stats restored.
Oh, good.
I need that. All right, good. All right.
We've gotten a short rest.
You've had long rests because
Oh,
you had
long.
spent you had
Yeah.
the travel back was several days. So you've had excuse me, I'm choking on my own spit. Sorry, I don't know what that was about.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
we've had a long rest on the travel, and now we're all just going to kind of be napping until midnight so that we can be a little bit rested up.
Correct.
For the role play, not for the mechanics.
I appreciate it.
Fuck.
Something's tickling my throat. It's Corona. Oh no.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna make that joke, and then you did, so here we are.
Everybody's making Corona jokes. It's what-
It's true.
It's to hide from the pain.
Exactly.
All right. Kind of contemplating, trying to formulate some sort of. Oh, I'm gonna attune to the ring.
Yeah, you have plenty of time to do that.
Do I need to attune to wand? If I need
No.
to attune to, okay, I don't. All right, cool. Then I
So,
shan't.
do that.
And I don't need to attune to the unbreakable arrow either. I doubt.
No, that's intrinsically
Yeah.
what it does.
Yeah.
It'd be
Okay.
silly if that was the other way around.
Yep. Then I'll just take a sleep
Uh,
and
Zero
spend some time with
Zero is
whetstone and
gonna
rapier.
spend some time, obviously cleaning himself out of the sand, and also start figuring out the best way of attaching the rope to the arrow.
Okay. It's easily done. And just to clarify on the wand, no, you do.
And above board, I'm gonna go take a tinkle. So I'll be right back.
Okay. And
Good.
you can, like I said before, you can use this as your magical focus if you are being that strict on it. And you do notice Marzel does go back to playing, and it is almost unbelievable how much better he's playing now. He seems to be in much better spirits. His eyes kind of have a shine to them again. They looked pretty dull before.
Well, good then.
Good for him.
And I would say that everybody gets a bardic inspiration
Oh.
that will last up till 1 a.m.
Ooh.
Nice.
Clean. Take that. I'll just mark it with the inspiration thing, even though it's not actual inspiration, but
It's inspiration plus, basically.
the Roll20 sheets really should have a thing to mark Bard inspiration. Just saying.
There is.
There is?
Well, there's the inspiration.
Yeah, but that's just for normal inspiration.
Well, you can use that. I haven't awarded special inspiration yet.
That's fair.
Actually, speaking of, Zero, get special inspiration for your mending bullshit. Because I did not see that coming. It was very clever.
I was the moment if you were watching the stream, the moment you mentioned there was a barrel of broken weapons, my entire face, I'm just going like, oh boy, I got a plan.
That's why I don't have it open so I don't spoil it because I know you don't have a poker face, Coyote.
I do no, I do not. Oh my god.
Good.
I mean, I can if I want to, but I generally
Don't want
just
to.
no. It's way more fun to just let people see me freak out over
Yeah.
small things.
Wow, is this a reaction video?
Oh my gosh! They just did a thing.
Is this a Party Baby 7?
Harrison's reaction.
Purple guy!
Oh,
Anyways,
Remember when the
Yeah,
Fine
it
Brothers
is very-
tried to
very pleasant.
trademark reacting? That was a stupid thing.
Why'd I hear my name?
Don't worry about it.
because we know you like
Reactions
reacting
react.
to things.
Oh yeah, that stupid video.
This is such a nice D20, man.
Oh my god.
I've got a bunch of nice dice.
Shit, I had something I thought of and then I forgot it because somebody was talking about dice. Damn it.
bought 0 dice.
So you don't have any dice?
I get it.
Have fun.
No, I don't.
No, it's
Anyways.
they're
Quantity
iron
zero
dice.
versus the name zero. Big
They're
fun.
iron dice with brass trimming color.
Ah, cool. Nice. Anyways, we're all back.
Oh.
We've all
Right,
gotten
so
a
I
bard
need to,
die for free.
I need to bullshit something. real
Tabaxi
quick.
Bard's doing better.
Oh, we all got a bard dog.
Yeah, from
What?
Bard
Yeah.
Friend.
What level?
Oh, that actually is important. What type of die is it?
I need to look at bard stuff.
I think it's almost D6 for like a level 3.
Yeah, it starts at D6, and at 5th level it's D8.
Yeah.
It's a
So if
D8.
he's-
Alright.
Ooh, this guy probably could take him out on his own, but instead,
Couldn't,
He could.
because he gets chased away. He's by himself.
Yeah.
it sounds like he's a pussy cat.
Where are you, Hassan?
That's the question.
Sup?
Nah, I'm joking. That's good. Okay, so it's D8
All right.
and
And so the bard Marzel is singing a song about his homeland, and you may add this to your notes if you want, but there is a primarily Tabaxi nation to the far east called Aramaj. That's how you spell it. And he's singing about missing, like, this is an upbeat tune, but it's like dreaming about the tropics of Aramaj, and it's very romantic. Makes you want to take a vacation there, if that's your sort of thing. That's fine, Hunter. It should be over within that time.
Okay.
Unless you want to stop now, it's fine.
No.
Depends on how drawn out this fighting is. Hopefully, it's not as drawn out like some lost battles.
I feel shade being thrown. I don't know how I feel about that.
glances over at Ben.
Hey, I'm sorry.
I think I balanced it, so it should be fine.
Okay,
All
cool.
right.
Look, at some point I just stopped caring about balancing encounters because CR is bullshit, and you know what? We're just gonna throw. We're
Really?
just gonna throw. We're just gonna throw one young white dragon and was it white dragon or silver dragon? Whichever the CR6 dragon is, and like 8 CR50 or whatever. Really, gremlins. I threw gremlins and a dragon at my party, and they almost died. But you know what? It was fine. It's good.
I don't like your DMing style, Ben.
Look, I threw a Tarask at my players and I let them live.
I just sent reactors from Monster Hunter at my.
Listen, all I'm saying is that the dragon totally didn't almost perma one-shot one of the party members with its breath weapon.
And I promise.
And then we had to undo
will
it
have a
because he had a
map.
bard die, and we all forgot he had a bard die.
Oh.
And so we're like, oh, we can fix this problem with bard die. And everything was
I
fine.
promise I'll have an actual world map for you guys to stare at next time. So
Whoa.
Ooh.
It's fine.
Ooh.
It's fine. I trust you. Anyway, let's go.
Anyways.
Let's just ask.
Yeah, we're all rested. I have
Just to
sharpened
clarify,
my
it's
blade
not
on
a
the
rock
whetstone.
sasha.
It's the Drelashta. I can't speak Elvish. Anyway,
It's Baxi, but whatever.
yeah, I
Drealsta.
I speak American and English. Damn it.
It's a Dreausta.
Yeehaw. Anyways, we're all rested. I have sharpened my sword with my whetstone, and the others have done what they have done, such and so forth.
Anyways, so yeah, the song about Armage is basically the equivalent of the Pina Colada song.
Oh, I
Oh
was
my God.
thinking it was like almost heaven, West Virginia.
Oh yeah, I guess that'd be a closer match.
Oh, good lord.
Country road.
Not
it's-
not country-ish, but it's the same
Yeah.
effect.
It's the same like lyrics kind of thing, but with
Backseat Road.
Same message.
a yeah, exactly.
Anywho,
Anyways, so it is currently
There we go.
11 p.m.
Sick. That's a good sign.
or you just used up all your luck, and that's the.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yep, you've cursed yourself.
Yeah, that's
Good.
totally it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and Marzel stops playing for a minute and says, "If you're going to make it out there before midnight, now's a good time. It takes about 13 minutes to get to the grave from. I know I try to go there almost every night."
Well,
He tears up almost, but he kind of stops himself and I wish you the best of luck, and I hope the inspiration I gave you guys help you with your deed.
indeed, we shall return as
Just,
soon as we are able.
And
And
he kept the gold coin, by the way. I
that's
don't know if
Oh,
It's
we were just
probably-
assuming that we'd take it after we completed the job.
I mean that's up to you.
I do ask just to clarify.
The
You pour
coin that you
only-
left in his bowl, yes, you pour it on the grave.
Oh, that
No, you pour it on the grave, but do you do it immediately at midnight, or do you like just whenever we
It's-
get there? If we do it,
out of character, it has to be around midnight.
okay. Just want to make sure. I
So-
don't want to get it wrong. Like, all right, we're here. Let's dump it, even though it's
No,
like,
I'll just say, for world stuff, midnight is the time where the moon is at the highest point in this world. So
let's do this then. We make our way off to
indeed. Let's.
the graveyard. Go kick
Mhm.
a cat demon's ass. All right, the ghost of a cat demon's ass.
okay, so anybody do anything else before you head now?
I'm trying to remember why Zero has 3 small logs on him, but you know what? Whatever.
I don't know. You
Why?
tried to light a fire using Hassan's head.
I don't know if you missed Hassan, but you did get
That-
Bardic inspiration. Or who left?
Oh yeah, I got
Who left
that.
during that? Okay.
Harrison.
I did, but I
Harrison's
made a note of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
we all have.
Good.
All right, we make our way.
Going pee-pee, everybody going pee-pee.
I gotta
Anyways,
go pee again. I'm kidding.
so
we make our way
you
to
head
the
out?
thing. Yeah.
Ooh.
Greedy.
Let's see. I got it. Oh, I forgot to play. I had music queued up for Marzel and stuff. Damn it. Let's see. Let's see. I think it's this one.
Is this the Kayoya
Oh.
Danger Robbins?
That's
So
quite
you
spooky.
make your way out to the grave.
Yes, Rackbird, it is I. Kayoya Danger
And this-
Robinson.
being in graveyard.
How
night
did you
itself is
know?
pretty
It
spooky.
was me.
But
Kayoya Danger Robinson.
Marzel did give you a note that Tabaxi have their own written language, and that her name was written in their language.
hmm
So he gave you Alim that note so you could discern where her grave is.
Okay.
He gave you a good direction to find it. Make a investigation check.
All right.
And do you guys have any source of light right now? Because it is not lit out
Me.
here.
Ken,
Do you count? Do you actually count as a source? Or you
I'm
just?
pretty sure.
I feel like if
'Cause I
your
feel like
hair
you'd be
is
pretty
fire,
inefficient because you're just a ball of fire on your head.
Yeah, but it's like
I
I don't know if
mean,
it's real fire. Let me see.
regardless,
I would say not real because that would make stealth. There's situations where you want to stealth impossible, and I want to have that be fair for you. Unless you
Yeah.
don't think you're going to be stealthing. But Zero has a bullseye lantern, that's fine. Zero.
I
has
mean,
his bullseye.
I'll just produce. I'll just produce flame, but have it just be on me.
Okay.
Are you
Because
immune to fire or
is
just
it-
resistant to fire?
resist.
Okay.
Because that's a cantrip, so I'll just make myself
Open drain.
actually on.
And I've got me
Okay,
sword.
Hassan killing himself aside. Zero pulls out his bullseye lantern, and Hassan, we'll say you use produce flame to light the lantern. 'Cause that
Oh,
makes more
what?
sense.
Yeah.
I'm
But,
gonna
um,
use my little tiny sparky rod.
Otherwise, I would have made you start taking damage.
I'll just hold a ball of fire in front of me, probably.
It's fine.
Fine.
Because I have
Fair.
flame control. Those are all just cantrips, and
Oh yeah, you can just
Okay.
yeah,
You use like 30 cantrips in a row.
just
to make
spam
this
it.
thing work.
Just spam it. Oh my god.
All right, I rolled a 16.
Okay. Zero, you're kind of making the light for Aleem as he is looking around. I would say that you do find about. It took you 30 minutes to get there, so it was about 11:30. It took you about 10 minutes to find the grave.
Okay.
And
Alright.
you found a match. It is the only grave with Tabaxi text on it.
Yeah. Kind of.
But then again, some graves are so old that they're worn away, so you can't even read them if you want to. But
Yeah.
this is an exact match.
Yeah. Kind of walk over. I kind of look over at the text, like, you ever notice how weird Tabaxi language looks? Like
It
a bunch of kind of wonder about like that. It looks very strange.
Hmm. Well,
for a real world equivalent, it looks kind of similar to Sanskrit.
Yeah.
regardless, I believe we should deal with this. Is it about midnight right now?
You're about 20 minutes off.
It's about 20
He
minutes off.
He did say that it doesn't have to be super exact, but being close wouldn't hurt, just so you don't waste the one holy water that you know
Yeah.
is in town, because you don't know how many people are capable of producing holy water.
Yeah. He said it did take a while for him to get it. I'd say we wait about 5 minutes. 5 more minutes.
Do we have anything we could set up? I don't know, any traps or something to give us some sort of advantage?
Well,
That'd be
perhaps
good.
that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah. Do
Or
we
at
have
least
any
give you
way
the
to-
opportunity.
Let me see here. I do have a few knives. You can set it in the ground, stab it when it gets up, but I don't think that'll work. It's a ghost.
Hmm.
I mean, I can just put a big ass fire wherever we think it's gonna be.
I dare not tarnish the grave of others. However, that does not look a decent idea if it works.
It certainly could.
What do you have in mind, son?
I mean, I'll just take the ball of fire that I'm holding, and I'll just make it like a bigger. I'll just use control flames to make it like a 5-foot bigger fire, and just hover it over the grave and be like, "Well."
Okay, so Hassan makes Hassan's spirit bomb.
I didn't know you had like create bonfire or whatever. That would just set it down and wait, but alright.
It looks like it's a 1d8 that I could just hold in one spot.
How about Zero? Well, Coyote's mic is muted, but Zero
What?
had any traps in the mind?
Oh wow, why was my thing muted?
Huh?
I don't know why my thing was muted. I shouldn't have been.
Your voice modulator's messing up again.
Is it?
I was doing an in-lore or in-game reason why
Okay.
talking.
Ah, I see.
being funny. So Zero, do you have anything to add?
8 traps.
I don't think I have any traps. Nah, no traps.
Okay. Well, if Hassan holding a fireball above it, it's a ghost. I should probably, and I draw a line in the air and pull my sword out from my Kopesh from the void. Like, this might.
I'd
be
say
better than a
in terms
scimitar.
of combat, Hassan, what you're doing right now, and you will be able to get an attack in on top of the initiative order before your actual turn, wherever that will be. Just as
So you kind of cut out at the beginning of that.
So I'm saying what you're doing right now would be in terms of combat mechanics would be a held action. So you'd get to do an attack on top of the initiative order no matter where your turn actually is, and you'd still take your turn when it comes.
Let me see if I can actually just make this simpler.
A preemptive strike, basically.
Because control
Yeah.
flames, I think I can just take it, and just put it there and leave it there, and it's just there, and I don't even have to mess with it anymore.
Well, how long will it last if you leave
An
it?
hour,
Even without any source of tinder or anything like that? Is it? Oh yeah, I guess it's magic. It doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
if it lasts an hour, that's fine. You can put it down if you want. I mean,
Okay, yeah.
you're just
Yeah, I'll
just burning the dirt, hurting the actual. So it's fine.
Yeah, I just want to hover it in that technically in that 5-foot cube that would be like on the grave.
Okay, so you're doing that. Anybody else doing anything?
I'm gonna pull my my packed weapon out instead of the scimitar. So I'm gonna just sort of reach into the void and grab it.
Does fire from...
It may do better damage instead of just a standard scimitar.
Does fire from produce flame? Is that magical or non-magical?
It's magical.
Then control.
Magic made it.
Yeah.
The control flame can't work on it. It has to be
A
non-magical flame.
non-magical flame.
Mm-hmm. So you could take some fire from the lantern and use that,
Mm.
but you wouldn't be able to do it from your other cantrip.
I mean, technically, as a workaround, you could set something on fire with your magic. Wait a second, and then like, okay, this flame is officially not depending on magic to stay lit because it's using whatever is burning.
Yeah.
It's no
I
longer
think-
magical.
I think I'm being dumb, and I don't even need control flames. I think produce flame.
Does
I
that
think
just
produce
like
flame. Yeah, it just a flickering flame appears in your hand. The flame remains there for the duration and harms neither you nor your equipment. The sheds light.
Yep.
You can attack with the flame. Doing so ends the spell.
so you can just hold
So
the flame.
you would
for...
have to hold an action because it sounds like it fizzles out once you use it to damage.
Yeah. All right. So I will. I'll just hold the produce flame in my hand and get ready to.
Okay, so you have a held action. They assume the trigger will be the summoning of the ghost.
Yep. Soon as I see it.
Okay.
I will kind of position myself behind on the other side of the gravestone from everyone else, and just have my rapier at the ready. When this thing appears,
Wait,
I
hold
will...
on. Wait, what are you doing? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
So I'm gonna stand on the other side of the grave from everybody else, and just have my rapier at the ready, so that when the thing comes out of the ground, it's stab, stab, stab.
Okay, so you're holding an action to.
I am holding a stab for when the thing happens.
Okay.
Jack, who are you casting that on?
That is a good question.
Because I'm about to pour the liquid, and I'll be right there, ready.
Alright, who's about to get up in this thing's face other than myself?
Unfortunately, me. I have the vial.
Not I.
I'll be
Oh.
doing it from back here. So
Alright,
I would recommend using it on the one who's going to be aggravating the thing.
Elaine, come over here real quick. Or go over there.
All right. And I walk up, and I assume he just.
Yep. Zero will place his hand on your head. Because you're probably shorter than me, so I'm just like patting you on the head,
Yeah.
like.
Alright. Yep, you're good.
I feel very much protected.
Good.
Thank you.
Good.
All
So
right.
this is like when the you know the huge is he the Kami on Planet Namek when it's Gohan and Krillin and visit him when he sticks his hand on them, like woo! Like
Yeah.
you have been blessed. Basically
That's-
that.
Unlocking the potential.
I have been
Yeah.
blessed.
It's Super Kamiguru, by the way.
Super Kami Guru. Thank you. I had the Kami part down. I was like, that's not right. That's what the other guy is.
Yeah.
No,
I'm sure Kami could
who-
probably do something similar. Wouldn't surprise me.
I assume it's roughly about time.
This Dragon Ball
Yep.
bullshit.
All right, get ready, everybody. And I just go in there. I pop the cork and I pour it on the grave.
Okay, so you pop you hear and you go onto the grave.
I
It
immediately
just looks
start
like normal water.
It's like, nope.
You take a step back, and you do have an empty vial now. If you want to add that to your inventory, I don't know.
I do.
It looks like normal water. It kind of splatters onto the grave. It sits for a minute, and it starts visibly like steaming and making noises, and you hear a and
I assume
you
it's
Oh.
see a clawed hand, like a. Do you remember how Marzel's hands looked? It looks similar, and this shadow of a hand just reaches out from within the grave and claws at the surface, like in a agitated state, and just like clawing at it, and then another hand pops up and drags itself up onto the surface, and you see this shadowy what you would assume to be a Rakasasha. And I'm gonna have to, well, I guess first Hassan, make your attack, and Kislev, make your attack.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I need to find the character sheet. There, this way I can see it.
Stab.
Okay, produce flame. That is a. Oops. Try to do the AC. That's funny. Let's do that one. The rapier is a miss,
Yeah,
And-
quite obviously.
but you do see. You try to. It misses, but in a way that you stab at it, and it just goes right through it.
Oh.
And produce flame. That's a hit. Roll for damage.
Yeet.
It deals damage, but it didn't seem to do a whole lot.
Huh.
Oh, this is off to a good start.
Okay,
Initiative
so-
numbers then?
Yeah, and I need to roll for initiative too.
Drew Spooky
One
Ghost Cat on Forest. Like,
So that's going to be.
perfect.
That's not with any bonuses because you don't know what that is. All right, so first up in the order, and it has finished pulling itself out of the ground. It has kind of like a hunched puppet-like posture to it, and then it suddenly goes, just whips its head around towards Aleem, and he goes, and yeah,
Good.
what?
How far away am I? Because I backed up from the grave when I poured the vial.
Let's say from the time that you poured it to when it the combat initiated, I would say there's a 5-foot gap, or
Okay.
10 foot, because I guess 5 feet is within reach. You're just out of reach.
Okay.
But guess what it's
Um,
doing? It is going. Its feet aren't touching the ground. It's literally like doing the puppet kind of posture, like you're dangling a puppet,
Gotcha.
and it just goes really quickly over to you, and its mass is like a swirling darkness of black that you can you can't see through except on like very rare instances on the edge of its shape, and it has red glowing pupilless eyes, and it's going to attack you.
I rolled a 19 for initiative.
It went before you. That was without its bonuses because I'm not letting you guys know that.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry. Oh, there's the initiative button. Never mind. Oh well, I learned that. I used the NPC creator thing. I have not used it before, so I don't know where everything is. But it's going to attack at you.
Alright.
And it's going to attack twice.
Alright. Do that as a reaction.
Do what? A shield?
Yep.
Let's see, what's your AC?
My AC now is 21.
Unfortunately, both of those are hits.
Sweet Christmas. Wait, it has
Oh.
disadvantage.
What?
It has disadvantage. He has protection from evil and good, undead aberrations. I imagine a ghost is an undead.
Okay. Okay, I'll roll again twice. Never mind. You roll the damage.
Okay.
I didn't do anything.
You're still a robot, Kaya, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
Miss.
No, I did not.
Miss. Good
Alright.
job, Zero. You saved his ass.
Oh, thank God.
Damn right I did.
Thank you,
What's the
sir.
point?
I would have been like, fuck. Alright.
And I guess that's spoilers as to what the claw attack does. And that's a
I
thing to
didn't
note.
see I don't see anything from it in the.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Yeah, no.
Oh, so you don't even see the rolls then?
No, the rolls are hidden for us.
Okay. We'll discard that. So they're both misses.
Alright. I assume it's my turn now, unless it's doing anything else.
No, that's it. It's its action.
Alright, I'm going to do this. And then let me take a look here. Bonus action. Alright. What's the bonus I get? Proficiency bonus. Alright.
Who the fuck drew that?
I have no idea. It actually wasn't me. I watched it be drawn, but it
I'm
wasn't
thinking
me.
it was Hunter.
No.
No?
I have the orange crayon.
You can
Oh.
change your color.
I know, but who's gonna do that?
Yeah. Anyways, what are you doing?
Me?
Eileen?
Okay, I
Yes, okay, yeah.
put down
Yeah.
Hexblade's Curse. And then I'm gonna use my I'm going to use my that's a miss.
Okay, now I'm just making it go Super Saiyan.
I could tell.
Please stop, Kaoya.
I'm not doing it. You can look at the
It's
stream.
me now.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Look, I drew Spooky
Alright.
Ghost Cat. Says Spooky Ghost Cat.
Alright.
This is gonna destroy everything, so we're just gonna do this.
Oh no.
Alright, yeah, so
What the fuck? That didn't do anything. Damn it. I'm
anyway,
powerless
so
to
yeah,
stop
I
this.
just leave until after the session. Anyway, yeah, so I swing my blade at it. I do want to know my packed weapon is magical. That's what it is. I did the curse, and that's my turn.
Okay. So, I believe. So yeah, I'm gonna go find the initiative again. I lost access to Excel. Thanks, Microsoft.
It's Demon, me, either Zero or Kislev, and then Hassan.
I would say Kislev and Zero both roll a d4 tiebreaker. Or d20. Roll d20 as a tiebreaker.
Oh, okay. You had me scared.
Okay, Zero, you go before Kislev.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So. So this thing is in front of Aleem?
Yeah.
Yes, it just tried to hit him, but Zero, your blessing saved him.
Damn right it did.
I do want to note as a bit of flair when it dashed up to me, I kind of just grinned at it, and then it started hitting me, and I'm like,
It didn't dash up to you; it just floated up to you like a
yeah.
creepypasta.
It just did the thing. I just kind of like smiled or whatever.
Thing.
Bit of cockiness.
Zero
That's
is just
impressive
going
because
to.
this is very terrible.
Eh.
Like any normal person would find it terrifying. I don't know how normal you find yourself.
Zero is just going to full on steam train directly at this thing, and while running, be pulling. He already had it at the ready, but come charging at it with his great sword raised behind his back, and it just comes crashing down as he does a booming blade.
Okay, that's a hit.
All right.
Roll for damage. You disrupt its you disrupt its form briefly, but it doesn't do as much as you thought it would, because this was a decent hit, but it didn't do a whole lot, you think.
Gotcha. So it's resistant
to melee.
physical damage. Yeah.
Yeah, physical damage.
That's a fair assumption.
Dang, this is like a Verdag creature. Ew.
To be fair, there's a lot of D&D creatures that have resistance to non-magical physic damage.
Yes,
true.
there are.
Okay, is that your turn, Zero?
Hold on. Do I have another thing? Nope, not that. Not that. Not that.
Plan your turns in advance so they go quicker.
Nope, that's it. I think that's all I can do for the moment. Yep.
That goes for everybody.
Alright.
I feel like that's just a thing we could work on in general.
This
Is
is
plan your
true.
turns in advance, so combat
Yeah.
doesn't take longer than it needs to.
Cool.
As well as
Hassan
a
is
fun thing,
ready.
it shouldn't drag on. Hassan, oh, it's Kislev. It's your turn then, Hassan.
Cool. Guess what? I'm a rogue. That's an easy thing for me to do. I'm gonna attack and do a sneak attack because it's engaged with my allies.
That is correct.
Yeet.
That's a hit.
All right. We'll roll some damage and then we'll roll a snack attack.
All right. So you do damage. Do you feel like it does recoil at having its form?
I realized why Rez
disrupted?
asked if what our
But
alignment
again,
was.
It feels like it doesn't do as much as you think it would normally would.
And I believe... Oh, you know what I can do? I will cunning action to hide behind another... Wait, no, that would provoke attack of opportunity. There's nothing, like, right within my range that I can hide behind, right?
No.
Okay, then I will pass turn.
Okay. It is now your turn, Hassan.
All right. Let's try this again. I'm going to go ahead and chuck a second level chromatic orb at this jag.
What kind of damage are you doing, boy? So it does matter.
It's not on... Oh, well, I'm doing fire. I only do fire.
Fair enough.
Oh,
It's not on my... It's not on my roll 20. character sheet, but in D&D Beyond, I have second level chromatic.
The damage
assuming I
increases
have
by
it.
1d8 for each slot level above first.
Yeah.
You do have it on roll 20.
One of my
Okay.
players. This is somewhat unrelated, but
That's
one of
the
my players.
Damaggio. Cast. Yeah, you have it on there correctly. So let me do the damage. So
'Cause when
that
you-
is...
Roll the attack, you actually get to choose what level you're rolling it at. But it's only when you do it.
Right.
So roll 20 does have it. You just have to make sure you put it in.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you deal. Let's see. That's 20,
13, 14, 16,
20,
21 damage.
21. 21. You deal a good amount of damage, but you feel like it doesn't do a whole lot because it does. You disrupted its form more than the other attacks from your other allies did, but the fire doesn't seem to harm it very much.
It really would help me to have a
We'll just
subclass.
whip this thing.
I wish I had a subclass.
Anyways, so it is now back to the top of the. It's going to be the.
I'm in
Or,
danger.
not, excuse me. The Drealsta. Yeah, it's not happy with you, even though Hassan did a good deal of damage to it. It is fixated on the thing that dragged it out in the first place. Is very mad at you.
Fair enough.
So it is going to attack you again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually,
It's preemptively just like.
actually, make a charisma saving throw.
Oh fuck.
Oh no.
Okay, now you're good.
Oh. I have a +6. on that.
Okay,
No shit.
so Alim, it tries to it sticks its hands into your head,
Mhm.
Oh.
Oh my god.
and it tries to go into you,
Mhm.
but your willpower forces it back out.
Oh.
Kinky.
I mean, if
Right.
you're into your head being penetrated by fists, I guess.
Well, just the way you said it, like it tries to go into you. Don't worry about
Actually,
You have a very loose definition of kinky.
Rez, are you
It's fine.
saying it tried to go into him, like possessing?
Yes.
That's an automatic failure because of the spell.
Oh.
Target can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. Just cannot.
Well, it failed regardless then.
Yeah.
So it's fine. It doesn't know that.
That's true.
It doesn't know.
And now it knows. It now knows because it got held, but because it reaches it into you, but then your spell comes in and it blasts its hands back out, and it just kind of its hands kind of go upwards above its head a little bit, and it hisses, and it
Kinda like-
turns its head over towards Zero.
It's like an
And
okay
it just
symbol with
turns
zero like
away.
winking.
Hey, how's it going?
So it is now Alim's turn.
Yes. All
Yes,
right.
it is.
Mhm.
All right. So I need
I remember
to
the initiative this
instead of-
time.
That's 2 feet. Okay. So who's around me at the moment? Like what's the radius looking like?
I believe Kislev is right by you, but that's
Okay.
about
Are
it. I
we
think
both on the
Zero-
opposite sides? Okay.
And just to clarify, Zero, you're still holding your bullseye lantern. You're gonna have to do something with that.
Oh, I set that down.
Oh, you did? Okay,
I
never
think
mind.
my mic was muted. I apologize.
Okay.
So I don't
I
want
mean,
to.
either you're telling the truth or you passed a perception check. As I don't remember. I don't fucking remember.
And that's what it usually does with it. It's a place.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that spell because that would be bad. Okay. Is Kislev behind the creature?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm not gonna do that then either. So I'm just gonna
you're
swing
being
my.
a bit sneaky. You said your Kopesh is magical in nature?
Yes, it is. It's because it's my back weapon.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's a hit roll for
And-
damage.
Yeah, I need to Make sure this is a 14. Okay, yeah. And then it also gets bonus damage, bonus 2 damage because of the curse. So 11
plus
damage.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
So finally, your hit deals about as much damage as you would expect, and the form it's harder for it to, excuse me, it's harder for it to reconstitute itself. So are you doing anything else with your turn?
I don't think I can. So yeah, that'll be my turn then.
Okay, it is now
Double check something real quick.
Zero's turn.
Yes. Zero is actually going to take a quick disengage action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got up on it too. So clarify for you, Aleem. Kislev is right behind the creature. Zero, I would say, is on your right side.
Okay.
He's going to put away his greatsword real quick and swap over to his heavy crossbow, which he has just recently modified to have a magical unbreaking arrow with a rope tied to it.
Oh. Well, unfortunately, putting a weapon away and then getting another is going to be your action.
Yeah.
Well, use an action to
Which
disengage.
is why, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, that works. Because it's the amount of time taken to perform whatever you're doing.
Yeah, so disengage is action, right? Then swapping to the other weapon is another action, right?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Just still a robot.
What?
He's always a robot. What are you talking about?
I don't know if he meant to be a robot still.
I know, I'm being funny. I'm
Wow.
being funny.
Can't believe it was wow. Okay. And yeah, that's all he's gonna do for now.
How far away are you moving?
That's a good point. I'm gonna move 30, no, 20 feet back.
Okay.
Okay. So then my turn.
Yeah.
So how's this thing looking? How messed up?
Not. It doesn't seem too phased at the moment.
Okay. There's still at least one person to give me sneak attack.
Yeah, Aleem is right by you,
All right, then we will do that.
and its eyes are currently on Zero.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do a stab. Yeah, that probably misses, but you know.
No, that's a hit.
All right, perfect.
Roll for damage.
Roll for damage and roll for snack attack.
Okay, that does half damage. I'll just so I don't have to do the long spiel every time.
All right, sounds good. And if there's
And as thou pierced it did not seem to
Now you know
pierce
the
it well
importance of
enough.
having magical weapons.
I mean, yes, this is true. Anyways, that's all I got, so I will pass turn.
Okie dokie.
I really need a subclass.
It is now Hassan. Well, do you have a subtype for rogue right now? Did you
No,
get
I'm 2-level rogue, 1-level fighter.
Go the other way around.
You could just do trickster rogue for your subtype.
I think my plan is I'm gonna go swashbuckler rogue and then maybe eldritch knight fighter. That's what I'm looking into right now.
Okay. I mean, it produces about the same, I think.
Yeah,
much.
it's
They both pull
similar
from
levels
wizard.
of cast. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So it is.
I just really like swashbuckler of all the rogue archetypes. It's my favorite one that I'm looking at right now. So I'm like, that seems good.
Me too. That's what Chadwick is. It's like I'm gonna stab you and then just walk away.
Yeah.
Hassan, it's your turn.
All right. All right. I'm gonna go for a scorching and use my second level spell slot.
Ooh.
So I make 3 attacks.
Oh my god.
Oh, hey, Scorching Ray is a
Nice.
fun spell.
Is. Why won't you die? Ooh.
Ooh, ooh. I think
Let's
that hits.
see.
I hit with a
All hit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, for
All
damage.
right.
Oh, interesting. You know, Eldritch Knight gets fewer
So
cantrips
that's
than our
cool.
Gold Trickster.
Well, the 11's nice.
17. 17. Yeah, that says half damage though. It just kind of it's a very impressive display of magic, but it doesn't do a very good job of disrupting its form and causing it pain.
Yeah, I imagine Hassan is just kind of furiously like blasting.
What? Fire
just,
doesn't work on this thing?
Just like, oh, okay. Well, that didn't work. So how about more fire this time?
Gotta love it.
When fire doesn't work, just keep blasting more fire until it does.
Oh, but I could
Am
also go
I-
Battle Master though.
Am I how close to it am I?
I would assume you were standing on the other side of the grave when this was happening, and it stepped away to go after Alim. So it is currently 10 feet away from you.
Okay, I'll back up to where it's like
It's what? You cut
I'll
out.
back up. I'll back up to where it's like 20 feet away from me.
Okay.
Makes sense.
You do a little baby steps back 10 feet, and you're now 20 feet away from it.
And I believe that's it.
Okay, so without taking its gaze away from you, Zero, this the Drialsta rotates its body to face you, and it's just going to completely ignore Alim for now, and it's going to zip up to you. So you may have an attack of opportunity, Alim, if you want.
Is
That's a
Kislev
hit.
also nearby?
And that's 8. That's 10 damage.
Okay.
All right.
Did
Yeah.
Kislev disengage?
I believe Kislev?
Hello?
Are you,
I'm back.
are you still within melee distance of the ghost?
Yes. Yes.
So you may have an attack of opportunity if you want.
Stabby, stabby. Do
Ooh.
I get sneak attack on that? I think I get
I
sneak attack on
don't
that.
think so.
No, sneak
I
attack is
think
your
it's only
turn
when you
only.
take an attack action
Yeah.
with it when you have it. And this is not an action; it's a reaction.
It says once per turn. Well, okay, that would also be the thing. But you can deal an extra 1d6 damage to a creature you hit with an attack if you have advantage on the attack roll or other things.
Yes, but that's
Yeah, it's
The
not
key-
your turn, though. It's,
But it
yeah.
does say once per turn, so we will say yeah.
Yeah, it's not your turn.
Anyways, 7
Um,
stab, half damage. So
Okay. A good little poke.
boink.
Let me see here. So it's gonna zip on over to you, Zero. And this is very unnatural movement. Like its body doesn't drag with the air at all.
Yep.
And it's going to. Let's see, what is it? So Zero, I'm not sure how to describe this for a construct, but it does something where it's attempting to completely disrupt your logic and make you utterly frightened. And everybody within 60 feet will also have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
Well, you included, Zero.
I will have to make wisdom saving throw.
And I'm
Yes.
adding that
Saving
7 to my thing with the bardic inspiration.
Oh, hold up.
You know what? I'm gonna use Bard die. Yeah, that's a D8 we said.
Yes.
Hey!
I can't be frightened because of the thing.
This is true.
I will
Oh,
keep
you're
my
fine.
roll, not knowing if it's good enough.
Okay.
And
Zero. So Kislev, you're adding to yours. Zero. Are you doing anything?
Zero rolled a 7 on his bard die.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So Zero. Everybody else. You suddenly feel this pang of utter dread. Aleem, it kind of bounces away from you. But I'm also gonna have you make a Constitution save, Zero, because I would say this is disrupting your concentration.
Yep.
I believe the DC's no damage, so it's 12 flat, I believe. So yes, you're able to maintain. If anything, you're just like, I gotta protect Aleem, I gotta protect Aleem, I gotta protect Aleem. But you are filled with like your logic centers are completely misfiring, and you're like, I have to get away from. It's gonna make me cease to exist. This is very bad. And let's see. And everybody else, you see, as Zero is he's starting to shake a little bit, and you see that his metal on his body is starting to tarnish and corrode a little bit.
Oh.
Strange. But all right then. I'm gonna
And
take care of
that will be its turn. So you are now frightened for 1 minute, Zero.
okay,
So you must use your action to get away.
movement.
Yes. You can disengage, I believe.
All right.
Wait, what?
I need to.
My action to get away?
You can use your action to disengage. Basically, all you can do right now. Until the frighten effect.
It's broken.
Is it action or is it your movement?
Let me look at frightened. Frightened.
I'm pretty sure.
Frightened. Oops, that's not it. Wand of magic frightened. No,
I
that's
can't
not right.
willingly move closer to it, and I have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while it's
I think
within
that's
line of sight.
certain frightened that makes you run away, not all frightened.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so a frightened creature has advantage on ability checks while the source of fear is within its line of sight.
Oh, okay, no,
Creature
it's
can't
the
move
spell,
closer.
yes. So if it's using the specific spell,
No, it's not.
no, it's
It's
just
not. It's doing something else.
okay. So that
Oh.
it's only for the fear spell that is the
Yes.
thing. If it's just doing a regular
And I'd say
frighten,
add to your notes. You have been aged for 3 decades with 0 maintenance. Funny joke.
ha,
So I know time doesn't really matter a whole lot to you as a construct, but you've
do
been
need to do some
weathered
repairs.
for
Gotcha.
30 years. And this is magical weather. Standard repairing is not going to fix it.
I've decided how I want
I'm
to.
gonna have to use magic to fix it. Mending's not gonna work. I already see you looking at it. Because this is
Alright.
damage, this is aging. It's technically different.
Yep.
Anyway, so that's that thing's turn. Zero is too hot right now. At least
So-
physically and mentally. Not
Yeah.
health-wise.
Is Hassan scared?
No.
Yay!
So I'm spooked. So I have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. I can't willingly move closer.
And I would say your Constitution save that time was not with disadvantage because it wasn't in effect yet. It was the act of having your thoughts disrupted at that
Gotcha.
moment.
Um. let's
Anyways,
put
it
in
is
my-
Alim's turn.
Yeah.
I believe it is 15 feet away from you, if I understand the distance. correctly. Zero moved 20 feet away from it, right?
Yeah, I moved 20 feet away.
So it's now 15 feet away from you.
Alright. I'm trying to figure out distance. I don't want to hurt any allies with the next spell I want to use. That's the big thing. So if I move up like 5 feet, is everybody else gonna be? Well, let me see here. Creatures within 10 feet of me must make a strength save. On a failed save, target.
I would say that would be very bad for Zero. Disadvantage
Yeah.
on such things.
If I did 12 and 8, I'd get all my.
But you
I'd be
do.
behind it, so it'd be. All right. Gonna I know you told me to figure out a plan ahead of time, but I several options are going through my head right now. I'm trying to figure out which is the better one.
You're fine.
Okay. I'm going to move
I also know we won't get up to level 20.
like 30 feet. Move my movement where I'm like in like I'm gonna draw a quick diagram just to kind of show you. Like me and the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like 30 feet away from it, like parallel.
Okay, so you're moving back. You're moving into the other grave areas, and
Yeah.
you're sidestepping it. I guess. would
Yeah.
be-
And then I'm going to aim my shot. I'm gonna do this.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that's definitely a hit. Roll for damage.
So regardless, I'd be taking abilities.
Yeah, and that's
I think it's force damage. So.
yeah. And you're good on the damage.
Cool.
So this deals precisely as much damage as you would expect, and this does a good chunk of what its current health is. So this was a very it struggles greatly to reform itself.
Yeah, and then it's pushed 5 feet away from Zero.
Okay.
So, yeah, and that's my turn.
Okay. So it is now turn. Zero. It is. There is 10 feet between you and the creature, and you cannot willingly get closer.
Right.
Something is preventing you from doing so.
Gotcha. I'm just going to kind of hesitantly, but still courageously attempt to fire crossbow at this thing. 20/20
That's a hit.
vision, baby.
That's a hit.
All right, that's with the unbreaking arrow. Let's go. How much piercing
Okay.
we got going down here? 6 piercing.
Doesn't do as much damage as you would expect.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, the magical aspect of it is not offensive,
Yeah.
so it does normal arrow damage.
Yep. So
It's not super useful either.
the question is the arrow embedded in it, or is it just kind of
No.
floating through it? It just kind of went through it.
It went through it and embedded itself on a grave that's nearby.
Gotcha. I am going
This is like
to...
limestone graves, so this kind of like chipped the grave too.
Okay. And arrow, not arrow. Zero is going to turn around and start moving away. Turning around completely, facing the other direction, so it is not within line of sight.
Okay. If you ignore it, it won't bother you.
Exactly. And
Close my eyes and it's not there anymore.
keep going. While also grabbing the rope that the arrows. It's attached to the crossbow.
So are you moving
that's
closer
still
to it
fine.
then, or are you're moving away? From
I'm moving away. Yep.
Okay.
Arrow with the rope for the arrow in tow is all designed. But
Okay, so I would say it's pretty easy to yoink the arrow loose. It didn't embed itself too deep. And you step away. How far away are you moving?
the 30 feet.
30 feet? Okay. Is that your turn then?
Yeah.
It is now Kislev.
My turn?
Yeah.
All right, so I will run up to this thing. Is there still somebody near it?
No.
Ah. Well, that makes things a little bit interesting because I don't get sneak attack. How much of my movement does that use to get up to it?
I think you were. Did you catch up to it after it moved up to 0? No, you're later in the turn. You're on the bottom of the turn order, Hassan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, after Kislev.
I remember. It's okay. You'll get your time, hopefully, unless Kislev kills it. We'll never know.
I just wanted.
It's okay. I didn't forget you, Mr. Angry Fireboy.
Rar. Grr. Okay. Well, there's not much better I can do, so I'll just I will.
I think you
not get
used
sneak attack, but
20 feet.
okay.
I would say.
Yeah, there's nothing better to do, so I'll just do that and accept the fact that I'm not getting sneak attack right now, which is kind of unfortunate.
It's a hit.
But I will kind of call out if someone else could get near it, that would be very appreciated.
So this thing is looking. It's struggling a lot to keep its form at this point.
Okay. Is there anything near where I am now that I could use to hide behind?
Not without provoking an attack.
Okay, then
That
that'll
was
be it for
English.
me.
Provoking an attack. That's what I meant
Yeah.
to say.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, Hassan, your turn.
All right.
I mean, basically, you're not wrong.
I'm gonna run up. I'm gonna run up to this thing, and I'm going to blast burning hands at its stupid head. And if anybody's in the way of that 15-foot cone, I can sculpt my flames to dodge 2 people.
I believe it's just Kislev, so you should be good.
Cool. So I'll run up to 15 feet away and just put both hands out.
So what I have in my head right now is 0 move towards Aleem, and you passed 0, so you should be good.
Okay. So I'll just make the cone just not, swirl around Aleem and not.
Well, that's very unfortunate because it's Kislev that's near him.
I mean, Keith.
Oh no, let me make a saving throw.
I should have just made you do the saving throw.
Oh no.
It's not that mean of a DM. So do your attack.
Oh my god.
He just has to make a dex save of 12.
Dex save. Okie dokie. Or no damage, I assume. If success.
It's half.
Half. Oh. That's
Yeah, I think
unfortunate.
level 1 spell, I think.
Well, I'm not going to even roll because that was enough. Either way.
Oh.
So it's
all right.
fine. So, Hassan, how are you finishing this thing off?
I think you just said already.
Yeah, run up to
It's just like, yeah, like it just
Now that you know that it's a killing blow, do you change anything?
So yeah, I might get a little more specific, but yeah, like he basically just runs up like not point blank, but like 10 feet away, I guess. So like the middle of the cone is like concentrated on him. And just puts out both hands and just screams like a psychopath, and shoots a bunch of fire, and then thinks that, oh, this finally worked, even though it was just really weak.
So Hassan uses Gallic gun. And,
Yes.
Final flash.
or Final Flash. And this thing is floating above a little bit above you in terms of height. Like it's like a good 3 feet off the ground. So you're pointing up. So you're basically you're doing Final Flash, and you blast this
nice.
thing right in the face. And this brief streak of fire deletes its head.
Beautiful.
And its form stays. Its form stays for a second or so, but then it starts kind of deforming, and it eventually into a cloud of darkness, and it dissipates in the weak wind of the evening.
Ha! I knew I'd get it eventually. Hassan dusts his hands off.
Yes, we're all proud of you. Now, is there anything else we can do?
This is right at the good stopping point, so you're fine, Hunter. So this could be our stopping point right now.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fun, though. I like blasting things.
I'm glad you had fun.
It was a good time. It's a good time.
Oh, we gotta ask though, did you have the vein popping up on your head like Vegeta?
If Bakugo doesn't have the vein, then I don't have the vein.
Let's see.
If I would be very hard to convince if somebody said Bakugo never has a vein pop up on his head.
Yeah, I'm sure he does at some point. It's anime, for crying out loud.
I've determined what Kislev's going to be doing for every single level up for the rest of the game, assuming we actually go to 20th level, so that's fun.
You never
All
know.
right, then.
You never know.
It
Depends
probably
on if
won't
you
happen,
guys.
but it could.
We're not leveling up or anything, are we?
No,
You should say that. You should level up to level 4.
Oh, shit! Okay, I'm gonna do that.
I can have a subclass.
And I'm gonna head off,
Oh.
but,
Because
It
you
was fun,
technically
guys.
you just killed a challenge 5 thing. So
Oh, jeez.
nice.
Nice. I
You
will
got
take my
lucky.
subclass.
in terms of Zero thinking to bless a lame beforehand, because
yeah, I would have.
Yeah, that
if
was a
those
good
claw
idea.
attacks would have hit something.
See you, Hunter. Okay, bye, Hunter.
Bye bye,
Okay. That
Yeah,
was,
get
something
bye-bye.
very bad would have happened.
gamer.
Yeah, I would have died. I believe that.
No, you would have been cursed, but you were
Oh,
good.
wonderful.
Oh,
I mean,
good.
Zero is cursed too, but it's not as severe.
Need to find out someone to get rid of the curse.
Oh, good, good.
I
So
got
basically,
Zero-
And
do it.
I
Get
would say
his
Zero, you're
armor
very,
and stuff.
very squeaky now, and you're like, something's up with this.
I can
Okay.
go and
This
get
is
like
magical.
oiled, and I can get polished and stuff. Like I can
yeah.
get
I would
repairs
I would
done.
say no. So you go to rub off. You rub off some of the tarnish that's like on the surface of like your wrist, and it just reappears.
All right. Do I take average hit points, or am I going to roll for it?
That's not good.
Oh yeah, you're iron now, so yeah.
And with this level up, I have 20 charisma.
Yeah, you're rusty, boy.
Yeah, y'all are getting ability score increases. The way that I've
And
divided
Everybody
this-
else, you notice that Zero is making some ungodly squeaking now, like creaking.
I just look over like,
So the
So
way
you
that
can
I have
imagine
this statted
leaving a
out.
car unattended for 30 years out in the weather. That's what's just happened to him.
The way
Yeah,
that I
might need to see a professional herdsman on this one. Don't think I can do it with the tools available to me.
yeah.
So the way that I have this statted out, I don't get an ability score improvement until what, 7th level?
Good
So that's
Lord,
gonna be
Ben.
fun.
What are you doing?
Okay, so here's the plan.
Stupid.
This level, I'm taking my 3rd level of Rogue so I can get Swashbuckler. The next 2 levels are level 2 and 3 of Fighter so that I can get Eldritch Knight. Then I'm doing 4th and 5th level of fighter to get extra attack and ability score improvement. Then I'm doing 4th and 5th level of rogue. What am I doing that for? Oh, uncanny dodge. That's right.
I think
After
ability
that,
score improvement is the same for all levels, though, isn't it?
not for all classes.
All classes? No.
No.
Okay, never mind then.
Nope, it's different.
Disregard what I just said.
So,
I was
anyways,
gonna be nice, but you just.
after I get uncanny dodge, I'm then taking the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels in fighter, and then I'm done taking fighter levels, and then my last 4 levels are in rogue, and I will end up 11 levels in Eldritch Knight fighter, and 9 levels in swashbuckler rogue. So that's the plan, assuming we get to level 20, which would be cool. I'm just gonna take above average.
Now, I've got a question. Do I take 12 of the Dead or take Mage Hand?
Good question.
Mage Hand's incredibly useful to like open doors from far away, but 12 of the Dead is 12 of the Dead.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say everything that you guys have definitely substantiated leveling up a 3rd level character.
Hey, epic. I've got to head out, boys. I'll get this level stuff done. It'll be great. I'm excited to have a
Yeah.
subclass.
Thank you everybody for coming out to the stream. Appreciate y'all. Let's see if we can